the Year of Horse. And first of all, let me introduce the law firm. We are YK Law, affiliated and headquartered in Beijing with 127 offices in China, with over 20,000 lawyers in mainland. In the past year, we opened 67 overseas offices out of China. We cover every country in Asia, most of the country in Africa, Europe, South and North America. Right now, we welcome our 5th US office here in Trump Tower, and we thank everyone for joining us today to learn about both the law firm and the great EB5 projects that's later on. Okay, also Mr. Yang, also he's a consultant for finance with the law firm, so the law firm do welcome everybody to learn about us and join us, and wish everybody a great new year ahead. Thank you very much for coming.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, most popular speakers and experts. Welcome to the World Speaker Series at Trump Tower. The Trump Tower is the modern equivalent of the King's Castle. It's Trump's castle. We choose this strategic location so that you can have a good view of Manhattan and the world. Outside, Manhattan looks like a chessboard, and the world is a living stage. From this strategic position, you can have a good eye view of the world. You can understand how King Trump manipulates American politics and have ripples across the globe and shaking up the whole world. It is the equivalent metaphor, symbolically, of the Trump Castle, the power, the center of power of the world. Knowing this, you are here for a purpose, to engage in an intellectual discourse with the experts and to enhance yourself, elevate yourself, and to make some good connections. So you are in a good place. I will be making many silly jokes because I'm trying to make you comfortable and make you happy. You are most happy when you feel intellectually superior. Yes, so my silly jokes will make you happy because they will make you feel intellectually superior. All right, so we will start very soon. People say long-term investments are wise. Many people say they have many long-term investments. But sometimes, to experts, long-term investments are just that you are stuck in a long-term bad decision. Or sometimes you're in something that you can't get out of, or an excuse to invest in something even better. Our organizer will address that. She's our first speaker and someone who doesn't need introduction, but I'll still introduce her anyway. She's the co-dean of the Boston International Business School. She speaks around the world and keynotes around Asia, Europe, and the United States. She's now in Dubai. We are going to talk to her live. I will have a live broadcast from Dubai, the land of the camels, and the land of the sandworms depicted in the movie Dune. It's also an endless land of sands and also big modern skyscrapers. Let's welcome Professor Lia Rong, co-dean of Boston International Business School, to speak to us from Dubai, live from Dubai.
Hi everyone, greeting from Dubai.
Hi.
So, hi, the time difference is 3:30 in the morning in Dubai. Good morning from Dubai and good evening to you New Yorkers. And the third year of Fire Horse, and it's a day of celebration of wealth. But today we are so grateful for our sponsor, Shiji Group, the famous real estate development company, and the chairman George, and Dr. Lee, and also Lawrence Chen. Thank you very much for sponsoring tonight's event. Without the support of you, the event today will be impossible. Thank you very much. I will invite everybody to join me to thank them. In applause. Thank you. Thank you. Since last time we meet together, I was in Davos, Switzerland, to join the Davos Economic Forum. And today, actually, we have the participants and a very famous leader from Germany, and he sent his speech, later on we will be shared. Then also we have the speech from Jackson Chen, is a billionaire from Dubai. 15 years ago, he arrived from Dubai. Dubai from China. He was, started with very, very little, financial resources. But today, they have $10 million in assets and have over 30 subsidiaries globally. And he's a very, the writer and the inventor of the Z model. And next month, the Chairman Jackson will come to New York. Probably by that time, we'll be all meet in person, March 18 in New York. And also, the last month, I had the privilege to travel and to the different cities and to organize World Speaker Series with Jing Zhao, and she also to bring her speech from Chicago. So we try to next month, maybe we not only do things in person in Trump Tower, hopefully we can bring in our global speakers and also the global audience to join us. Really make it, the lecture both in person and online. So I would like to share with you what is BIBS, Boston International Business School. Boston International Business School started with a story in 2018. Northeastern University in Boston, they put their campus on auction. That time I had the privilege to work together with some alumni from Harvard Business School, from Harvard Law School, from Harvard Kennedy School, and also Harvard Medical School. Together, we put together education investment fund, so we bought this campus. With this campus, in place, so what do we try to do? We try to have innovation in higher education. We started the Boston International Business School. The founder, very important founder is Peter Nero, who is the leader in higher education, in business education, who started the China European Business School in Shanghai. CIBS, China International Business School in Shanghai. Tremendous contribution to the world economic development. So together with Peter Nero, we started Boston Business School. Started firstly with the Global CEO program, but now we started partner with 2 universities in California. We offer MBA program to the global students, and both full-time and part-time. So our factor to focus on the MBA program are 6 points, 6 key factors. In the old days, when I studied in the management courses in Harvard, that time, when you study in business school, the things you really focus on, operation, leadership, and the typical management school courses. But today, in order to lead in this complicated the society, the first thing we ask our students, they need to have very good understanding of engineering, AI, and computer science, right? So our faculty come from, Palo Alto engineers, from the top business like Meta, Apple, and those companies, and also we offer the management courses. Our faculty come from the top universities, including Harvard, MIT, Yale, Columbia, NYU, Stanford, UC Berkeley, and also we focus on how the top investor masters from the field, especially in the field of real estate. So our faculty, averagely speaking, they have assets under management is $100 million. So from possibly 10,000 in 10 years, 15 years to become asset scale 100 million. So those people walk the walk, so they talk the talk, they lead the students in the field trips and work on the practical cases. And also number 4 is a teach leadership skill to let the students to focus on their core capacities, to have the system to produce in a regional level, national level, and international level. And number 5 is the corporate responsibility and the social responsibility, and the very good value system as a contributor to the society. And also, Dr. Ed Lee, who you're going to hear today later, about the longevity factor. Today, in a time of AI and also much quickly integration with real estate, that's become more and more important. So how to really make people live long and also in a very good environment, and as a core MBA program as a focus. So, and we look for opportunities to partner with the qualified partners and students to explore and to build together this MBA program. The famous Swiss investment banker who's the head of EU and the Europe private equity manager, and he joined our faculty. In Dubai, and Prince Jimmy also joined the faculty. He's a very famous investor and artist, and very famous for the movie production. And also we had famous artist. Everybody know Jeff Ye, who was with us last session when we were in the Trump Tower. He talking very much focus on the business and the art. So I just want to use the few minutes to.
Okay, thank you, Professor Lia Long. Rumor has it that when Professor Lia Long speaks, the camels in the Middle East, they will salute her. And the sandworms in the Middle East will stop eating people. Now, as society evolves, what happens to governments and institutions? Should they also get modernized? Should they also get upgraded to a new AI-powered bureaucracy? Data is something like a joke. If you don't get it, it hits you much harder back. I hope the future of government will be silver, polite, AI-driven servants rather than authoritative government bureaucrats ruling over us. Our next speaker will tell us what it is like in the future for the government and institutions to implement AI. She is the member of the American Public Administration Association, as well as the barristers in law with the Great Society in London. Let's welcome to the stage Madam Ugoji.
And thank you very much for inviting me here to speak. I'd like to first and foremost say a huge thank you to the organizers, and more particularly to Mr. Elvis for inviting me here to speak today. My name is Dr. Ugoji Adanma Eze. I'm a barrister at law for the Honourable Society in London, in the United Kingdom. I'm also a barrister, solicitor and advocate of the Supreme Court of Nigeria. I'm a member of the American Society for Public Administration, and I'm the chairman of the Human Rights and Constitutional Law Committee of the African Bar Association. I'm delighted to be here to speak today. So, in legal parlance, I stand on all existing protocols. I shall speak today on the role of transformational leadership in the era of digital transformation in administrative work. I'm actually speaking on an event of which I was a keynote speaker in the Kingdom of Bahrain in 2024. I was invited by the government of Bahrain to speak. I first and foremost like to say a quote. I'll take it from Neil Armstrong. I'm sure we all know who he is. I quote, "It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." End of quote. So, as I've already explained who I am, I'm Ugoji Adanma Eze, a barrister of law at the Honourable Society of Gray's Inn, a member of the New York City Bar Association, the United Nations Committee, chairman of the Human Rights Committee of African Bar Association, a member of the International Association of Jewish Laws and Jurists, and also a lay advisor for the New York Board of Rabbis. I'd like to shout out to my dear friend, Dr. Sheikh Rana bin Itza bin Dauch Al Khalifa, the Director of the Director General of Institute of Public Administration of the Kingdom of Bahrain, who invited me to Bahrain to speak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, digital transformation is indeed revolutionizing administrative work globally. Transformational leadership is key to navigating these changes. So we need to explore how transformational leadership can drive successful digital transformation and how it can indeed provide actionable insights for leaders in administrative roles. So how do we understand transformational leadership? What is transformational leadership? If I may define it, transformational leadership is a leadership style that inspires and motivates employees to innovate and indeed create change. What are the key characteristics? Firstly, they're visionary, setting a clear and compelling vision, inspirational, motivating and energizing employees, supportive, providing support and indeed resources, and finally, innovative, encouraging creative and above all, new ideas. Digital transformation in administrative work. By definition, digital transformation involves integrating digital technology into all areas of business, fundamentally changing how organizations operate and indeed deliver value. What are the key components? Technology integration, that is implementing new technologies, process automation, streamlining workforces, and data-driven decision-making using data to inform decisions. What are the role of leaders in the intersection of leadership and digital transformation. Transformational leaders are indeed crucial in guiding organizations through digital transformation. The key actions include setting a vision, empowering employees, and fostering innovation. I take you on a case study to the Kingdom of Bahrain. Bahrain has indeed been a pioneer in digital transformation, particularly in the public sector. In the leadership role, transformational leaders in Bahrain have driven initiatives such as e-governance strategy. What are the outcomes? Well, the outcomes are enhanced public services, increased efficiency, and finally, international recognition. As regards international scope and collaboration, the global trends are digital transformation is indeed a global phenomenon with varying approaches. Collaboration includes international partnerships and knowledge exchange are indeed vital for successful digital transformation. As in everything else, we have challenges and there are solutions. There are challenges. Common challenges include resistance to change, skill gaps, and cybersecurity concerns. Solutions could be effective change management, continuous learning, and robust security measures. We look to the future. What are the future trends? They are emerging technologies, AI, machine learning, blockchain are indeed transforming administrative work. There's a need for leadership adaptation. Leaders must stay informed and be adaptable to leverage these technologies effectively. And these are part of the media coverage in the Kingdom of Bahrain at the Institute for Public Administration. As you could see, it was indeed a very active dialogue, and if you note, there are more women in the room than men. In conclusion, transformational leadership is indeed essential for successful digital transformation. Key takeaways include the importance of vision, empowerment, and innovation. For a call to action, we need to encourage leaders to embrace transformational leadership to drive digital transformation in their innovation. In the holy month of Ramadan, as the Muslims around the world celebrate Ramadan, may the spirit of Ramadan stay in our hearts and illuminate our souls from within. Ramadan Mubarak.
Thank you, Dr. Ugochi. And it's about the first time I hear a UN speech and not dozing off. Usually they are long and terrible to understand, and I watch it when I want to sleep. That's the best sleeping inducing speech, but not for her. She makes clarity, insightful and futuristic vision for us, and make it simple that AI will be polite and will help us enormously, will be serving us. So in the future to come, we will be glad to walk into our future world of AI with Dr. Ugochi. And to appreciate her, we would like to give her a kind of recognition.
Thank you, Dr. Ugochi. We have something in common. She's from Nigeria. I used to live in Nigeria and do my business there many years ago. Welcome to New York. She's a great lawyer. We have a little recognition for you, Certificate of Honor, World Speaker Series, Distinguished Leadership and Public Service in an AI Governance Award. Awarded to you from our organization, the Boston Institute International School, all right? Here's for you. Turn around. Here's Dr. B's got another one.
Please move here. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
This is a certificate of honor, letter of appreciation. The award is proudly presented to Ugochi Adama Izzi, and again from the Boston International Business School Global Green Development Alliance. Also for you, you can turn around because we have one more coming.
One more. Yeah.
And yes, it is yours. So hold this. Yeah.
Thank you.
And of course, now we have a letter of appointment. So this is very important because the Boston International Business School is pleased to appoint you Professor Ugochi Adam Izzi at our university in Boston from Professor Aliyah Liaron, and Pedro Nueno, which is the co-founder of honorary dean of the BIBS. Okay, so you had a lot of good stuff here. She deserves. Yeah, you could hold the gold. Yeah. The microphone there. There we go. For hold one, and we have a nice.
Okay.
There you go. Shoot.
Okay, look here. Yeah, look here.
Our photographer,
Alright.
Star TV at work.
Yes. Look here.
All right. Picture
Okay.
time is the best
Thank you.
time.
Congratulations.
Thank you, congratulations. There you go. I will roll the microphone back and we'll move on to the next, Elvis Newman is our co-organized, and he's got the next speaker going for the night. It's a little warm in here, right? Better than outside, outside is pretty cold.
Investment returns are like fashions. They are good and expected, and they are never out of style, just like mini skirts. You better read the fine print before the fine print reads you. Our next speaker is a golden boy of investments. He was ex-executive at X-Hutton and is now managing partner of Debo Brown, which both of them are the largest investment companies dealing with most investment transactions in the world. And he's going to help us navigate the wonderful, hilarious, unfathomable, logical, and maybe very highly risky and hilarious world of investment. Let's welcome to the stage the golden boy of investment, Mr. David Sands.
Let's hear it.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you. So it's a pleasure to be here with you today, and happy New Year, the year of the horse, the fire horse. This year is very important. Okay, horses are very strong animals, and a horse is an animal with a lot of courage. So this is the year of taking decisions, bold decisions, and being courageous. The fire is also the element of strength. So this is a good year to make bold decisions, career-wise, entrepreneurial-wise. So I want to talk to you today about investments in healthcare. And to me, the most important secret that I hope I can infuse and I can communicate to you, that is the following. If you have an idea, if you have a molecule, if you have a patent, all that I told you, that I said, is very intangible, okay? Think about an idea. Think about a patent, it's something that you write. So the most important thing in the market is to securitize this intangible into securities, into shares. This unlocks a lot of value and enables to share the wealth with a lot of investors. Let me repeat. You go to home, I'm sure you have an idea for your business, for your career, for your future, a solution that you have found. The most important step that you will do is stop thinking and securitize this idea, transform this idea into shares, into stocks. That's what we do every day, and I love it. My background is in science. I went to medical school, and I went into banking in 2009. So I've been basically fascinated from the bench, treating patients, to now translating these innovations into patents, into stocks, into shares. Why? Because now we are able to get these small pieces of paper and give it to a lot of investors, and these investors benefit from this innovation, from these improvements. So what I wanted to talk to you today is Debo Capital. We have been doing transactions for the last 4 years. We have deployed $35 billion, okay? So we work crazy. I mean, I work until weekends, Saturday and Sunday. Sundays, I take all the calls from the Middle East, and basically I don't stop. So it's a very exciting moment. When we look at these therapeutic and securitization and create equity, in science, we think about basically diagnostics, I think about therapeutics, think about medical devices, think about clinics, okay? All these are businesses that are very common. I mean, if you look at olden China 5,000 years ago, everybody can do that. Everybody can come with remedies and come with services. So what is important in the capital world is the free markets. Free markets means freedom of ideas, freedom of commerce. There is no such a thing better in freedom than free markets. If you don't have free markets, you don't have anything. And to me, I come from a country, unfortunately, I was born in a dictatorship in Spain with a criminal terrorist called Franco, and it's still a very backwards country. There's no freedom of capital. There's still very difficulties across Europe. Today, in Denmark, they passed a law that even your passive investments will pay 35% in taxes. It's crazy. Okay, so we need to keep markets free, because without freedom, we're not going to have any liberties. So the freedom of the markets, I have learned that is the most beautiful thing to do for everybody, because everybody wants to do well in the market. So, and everybody complies, and if you think about it, the system, the laws, the regulations come together to make the markets free to work and free up all the bad characters that want to take from the market, want to put bad regulations, and want to limit the freedom of markets. So I'm here just to tell you one piece of information that I hope you will take close to your heart. In the pharmaceutical industry, we have a big problem. And it's a problem of patents. After 20 years, when we file a patent, this patent expires, and all these drugs go generic. So pharmaceutical companies need to live out of these patents. It means more innovation. Long story short, we are facing a big decline of these patents. A lot of these drugs that are multi-billion-dollar generating revenue are going off patent. Pembrolizumab, the biggest product in cancer, is going off patent in 2028 with $26 billion in revenue. That means we need to come up with our innovation. Did you realize what I just said? Innovation drives the markets. How beautiful is this, okay? We have the incentive now to put more innovation, more science, to discover better things for our health. It's beautiful, it works. So my final words is, let's continue. We are in the cathedral, in the castle of commerce. Let's continue. Let's defend democracy, let's defend free markets. And if you like to reach out to me, please come to me. I love to do business with you. We do an average of 4 and 5 IPOs every week. Let me tell you, we do more IPOs than JP Morgan, more IPOs than Goldman Sachs, okay? Our numbers of IPOs are to the roof. What is an IPO? It's an initial public offering. You have an idea, we take you to the market quickly, because we want you to succeed with the support of the free markets. Thank you very much.
Not just that, he's a very humble guy. He doesn't tell you his big accomplishments as his company's big accomplishments. His company actually helped President, owner of this castle, Trump Tower, issued the what?
So it's public domain. We did a $2.5 billion offering for Donald Trump, the president. Okay? We raised $2.5 billion. We have so many investors that did very, very well. The company went up to $8 billion. We started with 50 million and it went up to 8 billion. So obviously Donald Trump has a huge following. He's very marketable, bankable, and there is a lot of people that have done very, very well. But we have done also many SPACs for Trump, for Donald Trump Jr., to repatriate manufacturing back to the US. So this is one part of the business of Bonnie Morale, SPAC business. I do the IPO of biotech or healthcare. But yes, we are very involved with the Donald Trump family, and that's why our office is across the hall from this building.
Now, you see how knowledgeable is David Sands? He gave me very good advice. But I want to share with you this most important one. He says investment deals is like the first dating the girl you first loved. It's wonderful, it's magical, and it's worth sacrificing until you find out she's something else and someone else. Thank you, David Stans, for giving us financial advice.
Okay, look at that. We're on both microphones. We have some, if you hold this, we have a little recognition for you. Distinguished Innovation in Financial Strategy Award presented to Mr. David Sands from the organizer of the Boston International Business School, Global Green Development Alliance. Thank you, sir. Certificate of Honor. We have another one. It's a certificate of honor, also a letter of appreciation. This award is proudly presented to Dr. David Sands, and it's also from the organization of the Boston International Business School.
Thank you so much.
All right, so you're walking out with a lot of good stuff. Hey, actually, we're gonna hold this for you.
Actually,
you hold the mic.
David has already been appointed as professor, right? Of
Yes.
BIBS. So that's
See,
why he
now you are
two
professor of the
certificates.
IBM.
Thank you.
And you do a lot of investment for Trump, right?
That's right.
Okay, well, I work for Trump, my office upstairs, 22nd floor for many years, so we have something in common.
Thank you.
Keep making money for him, I'll do the same.
Right.
There we go.
Look here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Happy New Year, it's the year of the horse, guys. I gotta tell you one thing, I am a horse trainer, I'm a professional trainer, I have all the horses in Central Park, my father owns them all, he started a business, so if you wanna take a carriage ride, you come to me. I think you'd be next. All right. That's right. Good.
Do you know the terrifying truth about real estate deals or the harsh truth? A deal in real estate will go through if both the parties think they are successful and the other guy is making a loss. Return on investment on real estate is something unexpected, but it's very satisfying, just like a punchline. Well, I won't say much more, but let's welcome somebody who wants to share with you his wealth of knowledge in the real estate markets. Let's welcome the owner of the Bloom Real Estate. He's having all real estate in business in Manhattan, all over New York. Let's welcome to the stage, Mr. Scott Bloom.
Thank you so much, Elvis. Had no idea what to expect here, but this is really fascinating, including the initial opening had me look up, because I think I remember being born year of the horse. So anyone like me, 1966, that was also significant 60 years ago. You can read more, I'm gonna read more on it, about the 60-year cycle. And Wild Horse here, and I actually feel more powerful now that I know this, and I wish that all of us that are also 1966, that we share it with everybody in the room and make a fantastic year. Elvis, by the way, the speakers were all so on point. Politics matters. We'll get back to that. David, I was just speaking today about the tokenization of real estate. To go back to how Elvis wanted to introduce me, location, location, location. No. It's timing, timing, and timing. This was a pretty good spot to be until 1983 when Donald Trump built this building. Now it's way better. The views from here, the value of being here. Hudson Yards. Everybody know Hudson Yards? Been to Hudson Yards? Great, great, great. You didn't want to be there 20 years ago. There was nothing to buy, nothing to spend money on. You would hide your wallet or your bag and probably not be there in the first place. There was nothing to do there. And this is why I say timing, timing, and timing. Those of you my age or older, remember Times Square. I did not want to be in Times Square, day or night, especially at night. And then it changed completely. Port Authority, just to give you some eyes into the future, the Port Authority bus terminal. Anybody think that's a great place to be right now? No, but it's approved for 2 million feet development. They're actually building a garage right now for buses when they come in and drop people off in the morning, that they can stay and then more efficiently not create traffic in what's going to be a much nicer area. That'll be one of the next more visible areas. Markets, whether it be stock market, gold, anything, you know when it's the top of the market? When everybody says to buy it, that's the thing. That's maybe when you should sell. Stocks, real estate. The bottom of the market is when everybody says don't. So if we go back COVID years, everybody knew don't buy office buildings, right? That's the last place you would want to be invested. Well, that was the bottom. We're still coming away from that. A lot of people wait until the media tells them it's the time. I'm telling you, we in New York City leased 42 million square feet of office space last year. That's more than most cities have. And it's a significant amount even by New York City standards, even by Manhattan standards. So something for your consideration is not to go by what you see in the media. Let it get you to think. That's probably my most important message. I know you like to have the last word, and I'm sure you will, Elvis. But is to consider what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're reading. Go back to basics. JP Morgan Chase, David brought up earlier. Their big new building. 270 Park Avenue. Everybody sees it, likes it, knows it. And they're the largest private employer in New York City. That looks like a good thing for New York City, right? What you don't see is that JP Morgan Chase has more employees now in Texas than they do in New York. Because that's where they are moving the low-paying jobs. If it's, people that look like us that need to be here, making the big bucks, making the deals all around town, great. But the credit card processing and all that kind of stuff, down to Texas. So this is where the politics and the real estate and just life all come together. Those low-paying jobs are continuing to leave New York City. Why is this still a great place to invest? And I know I'm going back and forth. Is it good or is it bad? If, like every deal, it's good or bad. I could say, okay, who wants this to say yes? It says yes. Guess what? It says yes on both sides. Like it's a trick winner. I have a no one also, by the way. I should have told you this, my wife. I used it first. So the rent stabilization, which everybody thought would be crazy in New York City, to actually the mayor to come in and be able to freeze the rents at the same time. More people probably know, wants to raise the real estate taxes. So being an owner of real estate in New York City is great, but if you're an owner of, or even looking at purchasing apartment buildings that have rent stabilized tenants, danger, danger, danger. Because the expenses are going up and the rent is not going to go up. And when I say this, people in the business and in the city understand, it was not the case when he won the election. Because there's a board separately from the mayor's office that actually makes that decision. 2 people left and were now replaced by the mayor. He now has a majority. So that is you're going to see that. I'll just leave you with the thought about think. Think about what has happened, what is happening now, but more importantly, what is likely to happen, and what does it mean when you're making those investments decisions. And I will continue my last thought, which is what my personal vantage point is from the leasing perspective. I've negotiated thousands of commercial leases as commercial real estate broker since 1989. And people talk about investment property. Okay, investment property is a term. Investment usually means that you want a return. So let's change the words a little. Income producing property are investment properties because you can then be the one receiving the income. Well, the income has to be generated generally by a document, generally by a lease, whether it's residential, commercial, could be office, medical, retail, warehouse, doesn't matter. So understanding the underlying value and highest and best use for a particular location and a particular floor in a location, that should be your guiding light. And by the way, just to pull back the curtain on certain developers, like this one, and this may get edited out, there's a lot of Trump people here. This building goes, it skips 9 floors. He likes the higher numbers. You were saying at Taj Mahal?
Yeah.
Right? You go from the 3rd floor to the 20th floor, right, back in the day? Or even more, right?
I was on the 50th floor.
So, in terms of one last thing about that, I think we will eventually see 13 floors come back because it's a life safety issue. You know, when there's a fire, when there's a problem, the responders need to know where to go. So I think we'll see those kinds of things change instead of going from 12 to 14, but it became common practice. You'll know what I'm talking about. I'm just gonna be done. Thank you for your listening. No, that's not working. That's why I put it down.
Okay, thank you very much, Scott. I just learned on the fly that timing is more important than location. Yeah, I just learned. It shake up my mind. I had a Kundalini awakening just now. 5 minutes ago, Kundalini awakening. Well, but I think after observing him, I think he's a quite humorous speaker, right? So, if that's the case, then we should change it to timing in 3 words. If you want to do it 3 words or 6 words to describe Scott Blum, we would say timing, laughter, timing, laughter, timing, laughter.
I'll take it.
Yeah, great. In recognition of your new
maybe there will be some questions. It's a very interesting subject. He was talking about real stuff in the city. I mean, the rent stabilization is very big, and we also have rent control. But if the rents are stabilized, and he's calling for increase in real estate property tax, how would the owner be able to maintain the building?
Well, that's a really good question, and they're actually clear about it publicly. They want a lot of those owners to have to give back the building because they're not making money on it, and the city to own it.
Socialism.
Yes, sir.
See what's happening in the
I
city?
think he knew the answer to the question.
Anybody want to ask Dr. Blum any questions? Here you go.
Does that mean the government will buy the rent stabilization
Building from the owner?
No, because buying sounds like we would negotiate and pay for it. What they are actually hoping is that some of these landlords will go out of business because instead of making money, like we said, good investment, are now losing money, and then they give it back to the bank or to the city.
Oh, so the bank, yeah, bank.
Yes.
Any other questions? Anybody else?
I guess more of a fact, when building owners stop making money, they stop upkeeping the building, so appraisals will start to fall in the city. So we'll see some devaluation if that happens.
And therefore lowering the cost to be here. The question is, who still wants to be here? The good news is we've had that happen a number of times. There are reasons why people don't want to be here, why people don't want to be in tall buildings anymore. We're now building even higher. So it does shift back. We're going to be okay, I think, I hope. And for those that may not be familiar, New York is the largest population city in the United States. Number 2 is Los Angeles. You know how close it is? It's not even close. We have twice as many people here as the next largest city. This city can survive on so many aspects, and it changes all the time. Again, when you see the news, and don't jump to the conclusion so fast. Take the time, speak to your friends, talk to professionals. And if you don't know who to ask Elvis. He knows everybody.
Thank you very much for your time and for your explanation. And we have some recognition for you, starting with the Certificate of Honor, World Speaker Series 2026. We have a Distinguished Leadership in Real Estate Award to Dr. Scott Bloom. Thank you very much. That's your, we have another one here.
Right, look here.
Certificate of Honor, letter of appreciation is presented to also to Scott Bloom. Thank you very much. And a letter of appointment, and now you are a professor. Officially, we nominate you as professor from the Boston International Business School.
Thank you.
Thank you. You got the two speakers there.
You want to?
Give the-
Yeah, two.
Gold,
High up.
Mike Awards. Oh.
Yeah, high up for the photograph.
Okay.
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 Okay, she's here.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So AI is starting to take over. It's starting to flood my email inboxes with hundreds and thousands of emails and junk emails. I can't control, I'm defeated. And when I try to teach AI a joke, it tells me, error, human not found. And then next time it sends me a message, I will teach you how to tell a joke because you're not humorous. Actually, we AI are more humorous than humans. It's that you humans with low IQ cannot understand encrypted jokes or coded jokes. Let's welcome to the stage co-founder of Century AI, Joseph Frank. He will tell us about AI.
Hello, how's everybody doing? I really enjoyed the first couple speeches. I feel like I'm gonna go get my degree from Boston Business School, and then I'll figure out a new novel molecule to securitize, and then with money I'll lease some commercial property and start an office. So I'm excited to get life going. I'm gonna talk about time management with AI and why am I here and who am I. I'll just give you the short commercial. I worked in litigation for many years. I was litigating, I was billing and tracking my time hourly, and I just had this nagging thing at the end of every day. I didn't like doing my timesheet. I don't know if anyone here, we're at a law firm. Anyone here bill hourly? Okay, we have a couple hourly billers. I was an hourly biller, so every day at the end of the day I had to write down I did this, this, and this, and I had this question. Could I get the AI to do this for me? Eventually, I did get the AI to do it for me, and so now I run a company called Time Century, and we do thousands of timesheets every day for lots of different people, basically using AI to calculate what did they do that day, how much time did they spend, and who should they bill for it. And we have an AI billing assistant that sends invoices for them and follows up and collects. Very basic stuff. So that's the commercial. Now let's talk a little bit about one of my favorite topics, because when I got into the time tracking business, I thought, okay, I should become an expert in time in addition to just sort of billing. And so today I'm not really going to talk about billing unless you guys can stop me and say, no, I really want to talk about billing and invoicing. Raise your hand. All right, nobody. Let's just talk about time because that applies to all of us. And the last time I gave this speech, my kid is back there. Oh, there we go. The last time I gave this speech, I said, statistically, I did the math, I have 367,000 hours left on planet Earth. And that was 15,000 hours ago that I gave this particular presentation. And so one of my questions is, where did the time go? Now, I happen to have an AI billing assistant that figures out like where the time actually went. And I decided to talk about two things today. The first one was, where does the time go? And the second one is, where should our time go? So, okay, I have 352,000 hours now left. I can figure out where the 15,000 hours went. And then what do I do with the 352,000 hours that I have left? 122,000 of those hours I'm going to be spending sleeping or something like that. And then, there's work and leisure. So let's ask the data, where does the time go? So about 35% of our time goes to sleep, caring for ourselves and others, maybe children, spouses, aging parents, that's about 23% of our time. And this is across all countries. And 20% of our time is leisure and social, and the other 22% is work and education. So if you think about the time we really have decision-making control over, you can't really do anything about sleep. We have to sleep. You have to care for yourself. You have to brush your teeth and eat dinner and take care of your children and your parents, etc., family members. So the only time you really have any decision-making power is your work time and then your leisure and social time. And I thought this graphic was cool. I didn't make it, but I thought this graphic was kind of cool. This shows on any particular given day, now this is in the US, American Time Use Survey. You can see the clock is increasing, and then each one of these dots represents a small percentage of the population and where they're going. So you can see now we're at 7 a.m., a lot of people are still sleeping, and that traveling dots are in the middle. And so you can kind of see, I just thought this was a fun visualization of how it works for people. Go to sleep, wake up, they go to work, they do housework. We're at 10 a.m. People are doing things like volunteering, religion, and so we aggregated all of these categories and we showed this big pie chart here because some of these, like shopping, I put that under care for self. But you get the point. I can share this graphic later if you're interested. Okay. We didn't have to sit here through all 24 hours of that, but I thought it was a fun way of looking at it. Something I thought was interesting, so we have about 4,500 weeks on average that we live. And if you look at when things happen in that 4,500 weeks, over here on the left, we have Tiger Woods and Roger Federer, right? So yes, they're alive for around 4,500 weeks if you assume that they live, 85 to 90 years. But almost all of the things that they do that are interesting happen in this small slice of weeks between kind of 20 and 35 in the case of these particular athletes. And then for Albert Einstein and Isaac Newton, a lot of it's happening still. Newton developed his law of gravitation around the age of 33. So almost all of our professional, the early part of our professional accomplishments happen in this kind of 20 to 50 range. So even if you have 4,500 weeks, it's really this kind of 1,000 weeks from 20 to 50 or so that's really moving the needle. So what should you do during those 1,000 weeks, and does AI change any of that? So I like this, I'm like a little bit of a Brian Tracy nerd. So any goal can be accomplished if you break it down into small enough parts. I believe this, it may or may not be true. It's a guy up here with a quote, but I like it. And so what's interesting is AI, as we've seen from this data, can do an increasingly longer set of tasks. So early on in about 2020, AI was able to do tasks that would take your average human something like, 15 seconds or 30 seconds or something. And by the time you get to 2022, it was up at 30 seconds, getting to a minute. And eventually, we're in now 2025, 2026, and AI is able to reliably do tasks that are taking humans somewhere between 1 to 2 hours. So that means instead of saying, can you write this one particular function that performs this one thing on the computer, the AI is now able to do something that might take several hours, like can you implement this new feature on this product? And so the question is, okay, well, which things can it do? Well, we know that we're spending 20% of our time on leisure and social, so it can't really relax for us. It can't sleep for us, and we don't really have the humanoid robots yet, so it can't really, at this point in time, do the caring for self. It can't brush your teeth, it can't, it can't really eat lunch for you or brush your teeth or anything. So all it can really do right now is this little slice of the pie, the 22% of our time that we spend on work and education. So then the question is, what should it do? And can it help you accomplish your goals? And so, in order to figure that out, in my mind, we have to say, okay, what are the things that I'm actually doing that are trying to get me to the point of accomplishing my own goals? And one way to help figure that out is to go back and use AI to analyze what am I actually doing across various semantic dimensions. So, what am I doing and why am I doing? And in my mind, the only path to AI-enabled time optimization is understanding what am I doing when I'm at work? What are the tasks? And why am I doing them? And so what I think I'm going to leave you with today, and really I think it's more about, like kind of Voltaire said, it's more about the questions and the answers, is what are the things that I can, and we all have life goals, right? Everybody here has a particular thing they want to do, life they want to live. You know, you may want to sell commercial real estate or securitize novel molecules, etc. We have this high level goal, okay, securitize novel molecules. We have to break that down into its component tasks. Okay, that means I need to do, one, I need to go out and find scientists who have business ideas, things they want to do, or maybe leasing, okay, leasing there's some number of leases that I have to review, and then some number of, prospects that I have to reach out to, etc. So we break down our high level goal into its component tasks, and then we ask ourselves, from a capability perspective, what are the things here that only I can do? I mean, I like, in my business, for example, the timesheet business, sometimes we have a customer and they have some particular requests, and really only I can fulfill this request. And what are the things that I think there's this new category, only AI can do. So AI eventually, I think, if you're a believer in AI, I'm a little bit of a believer, you'll eventually get to the point where AI can do many things that humans cannot do, and because it is more capable than us in various scientific and technological domains. Okay, so those component tasks of your high-level goal get basically delegated to AI if only AI can do them. And then they get delegated to you yourself if you can do them. And if either can do them, then there's this question of, well, what if I can do it or the AI can do it? And that's why I want to leave you with this. There's two options for productivity. If you do the same amount of work and you get more output, that's basically the democratized luxury. And I think as a society, if we're saying, let's have this intellectual discussion, do we want to do the same amount of work? Well, we're all kind of working like as much as we can. Do we want to do the same amount of work and get more output? So like we're all living in, gilded towers? Or do we want to do less work and get the same output? So we all basically have we have a little more free time and leisure time, but we can do it with less work. And I think the question around AI that we have to answer, not just as a society, but individually, is, am I trying to do the same amount of work and get more out of life? Or do I want to get more out of life by doing less work and getting kind of the same thing that I have now? And so if either you or AI can do the work, then the question is do you enjoy it? And really as a productivity, I read every book on productivity, I started asking this, what is the goal? The goal is just to enjoy life. So if the goal is to enjoy life, what is the ideal allocation of your time? Well, you want to be improving yourself and your life, etc. Hopefully, you're enjoying. You're not improving yourself to your own kind of detriment. And you want to be doing stuff that you enjoy, but you want to be doing stuff that you enjoy that's not going to, destroy your life over the long term. Ideally, you're doing things that improve your own future or the future of others that you enjoy. And then this other kind of option here is failure. Is you're doing something that you don't enjoy and it doesn't improve anybody's life. And if you're doing that, you've got to be doing something else. And so that's really it. That's my talk on AI and time management. So I'll open it up for questions if anybody has any. And if anybody bills or tracks time hourly, feel free to reach out to me. We'll do your invoices for you.
Thank you, Joseph Franks. I'm sure people will now realize how come your time management and productivity got so much enhanced. Probably your coworker will ask you, did you do that or did Century AI help you? We thank Joseph Franks for bringing a system that integrates email, Slack, Zoom, calendar dates, everything into one, and we can easily manage time and productivity. Let's welcome Joseph Franks to receive awards of recognition. Joseph. Yes.
AI, what a subject. I never understood anything, but that's okay. Everybody understand AI now, right? Thank you to you, at least now we can do a little bit better. Certificate of honor we give for this, a Distinguished AI Industry Impact Award to Joseph Franks. Thank you very much, sir. Is one certificate for you. I have a second one. Thank you, Dr. E. Letter of appreciation to Joseph Franks is another certificate of honor from the BIVS. And of course, the letter of appointment is now officially Boston International Business School appoints you as a professor
All right.
Thank you very much, sir. And here, you're gonna hold up, while you hold up those two microphones, golden microphone. There we
Okay,
go.
look here. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Office hours are Thursdays at 5:30 to 7.
Great. Congratulations.
All right, cheers.
Liquidity, you know the word. Liquidity is important in finance as well as in the oceans. When you have ROI, it means return of investment. But what happens when you have ROI for the oceans? It means respect our islands. Our next speaker will redefine ocean water, our survival, and the blue ocean future. Let's welcome to the stage. Let's welcome Fred Sullivan, owner, executive director of Blue Ocean Future. Thank you.
Hello. Well, one thing that makes Manhattan a place to be, and always valuable, is that it's a very narrow island, and we're all compressed in here, and that's why we make so many deals and create so much value. So I think location is key, and also planning is really important. Hudson Yards, I danced with a friend who worked at city planning, and they said, oh, this rail yard is kind of totally transformed. And, you know, that was years ago. But the plan they laid, you know, the governance, the foresight of that, it's just pretty spectacular, I think. And one of the things that's really important in oceans, with Ocean Future, is that basically we all depend on the ocean. It creates our weather. It's something that we all love too. We all came from the ocean. So when I was a kid, actually, my parents took me to San Francisco. And when I went to the ocean, they couldn't pull me out of the ocean. I would just cry. And I love the oceans. So kind of a little bit of a Lorax of the ocean. So I helped my friend sail this boat, the longest voyage in history. That was his dream, to sail for 1,000 days nonstop on the sea without resupply, without land. So I would just, I helped him build a website and build a model for the Space Museum, or Natural History Museum of the boat. But I love the sea too. I finally went on an ocean voyage with him in November for 10 days, but we got forced in quickly. So we were only really in the sea for about 6 days. But there was a lot of sea life and a lot of beautiful stuff just offshore, just off the shore of New Jersey. But then he had a dream to go see Elon Musk because he wants to train astronauts, because he sailed for 3 years, the amount of time it would take to go to Mars and back. So I helped him with that, and we had a Mars analog. So people that want to train to go to Mars, like climb Everest or get enclosed in places, but he says the best place is the sea because you have the threat of death. So anyway, me and my daughter were going to be my daughter was off school December 22nd to about January 16th. And he said, oh yeah, we could go to the Virgin Islands in that amount of time. And I said, okay, I can make his dream happen by being the crew for him and letting him sail his boat down there. So this was the boat on December 22nd. There was a lot of snow, and it was really cold for New York. And I'd been ice skating, but I knew he only left in the morning and we left in the afternoon because we had to shovel all this snow off the boat. So anyway, there's my daughter, and as we almost sail, into the Virgin Islands. But on that first day, I stayed outside for 10 hours and I got frostbite. But I was very happy 26 days later, 10 days late, when we arrived here at St. Thomas. Beautiful place with sea turtles, sea grass, and all of those types of things that you love to see. And I can't recommend St. Thomas and St. John's more for the value. One thing that we're approaching is the planetary boundaries. Just the way that we develop, we create pollution, we kind of go over limits of things. So ocean acidification happens because carbon dioxide is getting in the ocean and it's making it acidic. So shells and different things like that can't form and even implant. It's just not really a great thing. We have climate change, we have chemical pollution. 95% of the species right now are domestic. That means a lot of the, by weight, a lot of the species are in the ocean, luckily. But we're dependent on kind of this pyramid of life. And so we need to start to take into account this and use our AI technology to start to track what's happening. One of the things that's great about New York is we have both the UN and we have Wall Street here. We have finance, and finance helped the United States develop into, maybe one of the greatest countries, in the world, But here is a depiction of kind of, like you see on maps, everything is gridded out. This is a cube, because everything's actually three-dimensional in the world. But this is our non-renewable resources. This represents our renewable natural resources like forests and fisheries and things like that. And we're all dependent on that. And this gray is the shade, kind of the state of our boundaries right now. And here is the delta symbol, classically science. And here's this clear cube. If we grow our economies, both the developed and developing, and restore our natural resources, we can all become more healthy. And really, we can invest in that change. You put a tomato in a pot, and you put one in the ground, and the one in the ground is going to have far more tomatoes and be much more easy to maintain. So nature grows. So if we create regenerative economies, this would be a blue or water area of our land. This would represent a green area, and this would be a coastal area. If we plan our economies to some extent to use renewable natural resources, we can all prosper. So these cubes actually could be securitized. And one of the problems in the developing world is basically they don't have the financial, they don't have the finance because there's not information on this. And we don't take into account the restoration and regeneration of nature. But if we can start to measure and plan different scenarios and have companies, take these up with that perspective in mind, even these simple cubes, of course you drill down and get all the financial data, but it takes AI, it takes satellites, it takes things like that to make these. So you could take these natural areas, saltwater flats, mangroves, coral reefs, and you kind of have, that's kind of your base. But with information, right, that we can gather now with satellites, possibly with airships, with sensors, drones, ships, we can start to set aside areas where nature rebounds and grows, and it's up to 6 times. So the fishermen there, we've depleted our ocean stocks, but if you kind of plan where to preserve nature, you can increase the capacity by 6 times. So at the UN, we made treaties to set aside 30% of the land and 30% of the waters. So that has to be decided on. So we need to kind of finance this and do this. If we create areas where we grow more mangroves, that grows more fish. If we take certain kinds of sand from volcanoes, we could put it on the beach. That can both reduce the acidification of the ocean and restore the beach where people fish. So this would be potentially an area off the Ivory Coast. They have like a national park there. But if they put a little area where they restored natural species, and they put an area where that was kind of like a park where you preserved, the fishing would come back and the fishermen could be more productive. And the tourists can visit this park and maybe they could sports fish here and the coral could work. And maybe the people that were moved away from the ocean because of ocean rising, they have a special economic zone that supports these things. So planning is really an important thing, and it's important that we start to invest and do this to preserve our future. One thing that we can do with these and measure these is we can create like these global goods that these developing countries have. They have still more resources or nature. So actually we want to and should pay them to kind of preserve nature to some extent. And shift their energy and do these things. But one thing, or one way that we could do this through securitization from our first presentation is create indexes of carbon and decarbonization of economy, growing biodiversity, growing the well-being, growing dollars, reducing pollution, and making better governance. So if you have these indexes, money can come in quickly and go out. So if there's increased levels of risk, then they can go in and they can go out. So if you plan stuff, not planning each specific business, but you start to track and incentivize them to do some of these scenarios and include them into their businesses, we can create these global common goods. We can get the $100 trillion in private institutional wealth to the developing countries. Investors here and around the world can make money from growing economies. And people grow economies and actually grow businesses faster in developing economies, but they don't get the investment because nobody ships the information back. So Blue Ocean Future is about creating that information source to be able to create and restore our world, but grow economies in a healthy way. So, basically planning and then creating like structures. I'm a business person, I'm not a nonprofit person. I'm at the UN all the time on finance for development. And one reason why I'm valuable there is because I think in an entrepreneurial way. I have a scientific background, but fishermen don't go out and get grants. We need to give them a potential milestone and say, hey, if you want to fish better, here's a little bit of money, but if you start to implement along this, whatever, preserve some biodiversity or do this or do that, the different milestone payments could be made out and things can happen if you're organized. So we need kind of large scale systems. So Blue Ocean Future, we're putting together like a system for measurement so that the people and communities can plan and we can create global goods and get finance to people so that they can create, wonderfully developed places in harmony with nature. So anyway, I'm always trying to help people realize their dreams, and traveling the ocean, really the most beautiful ocean with the most things in it. We're just right off the coast of New Jersey. We sailed 1,600 miles, but it's mostly, there's not plants, there's not a lot of life in the ocean, but it's still, there's phytoplankton that really supports us. But really, it's what preserves it. So we need to kind of choke back our use of fossil fuels and use, other ways and new technologies to, help us all realize our dreams. So thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you, Fred, for ushering a world where ocean sustainability and capital can have the same goal. They can do that in the movie Pandora. They can do that on Avatar. So finally, we can keep Earth safe for humanity and keep our dreamlike paradise Earth to be something like Pandora. Thank you, Fred Sullivan, and we'd like to give you a recognition for that.
Thank you, here we go. We have presentation to make, a certificate of honor from the World Speaker Series 2026, with the two microphones here, gold microphone. Distinguished Leadership in Blue Economy and Sustainability Award, Mr. Fred Sullivan from the BIBS. Is one. We have another one, Certificate of Honor. Letter of Appreciation. This award is proudly presented to Fred Sullivan from the Boston International University. And of course, we have a letter of appointment. The Boston International Business School are pleased to appoint Fred Sullivan as a professor. Thank you very much, sir, for coming and for informing us about the oceans. Here we are.
Oh, look here.
Just lift it up.
Yes. Thank you.
Hey, look. Okay.
Thank you very much. As you know, our founder is in Dubai right now. It's 8 o'clock here. She's listening to us. She's following everything, and it's 9 hours ahead. So imagine she's been up from 3 in the morning until now. Yeah.
When you're in business, the top niche market is customization. Even AI needs customization. AI needs customization because they cannot tell the same joke twice. Humans can. The AI is not allowed such a leisure of telling the bad joke twice. Customized AI is like a man wearing a tailored suit. It looks elegant, impressive, and sometimes funny. Wow, but you don't want to customize your AI so much that it knows, it learns that you have been lazy, you are snoozing off. Let's welcome the next speaker, founder of XLive AI, who will tell us how we deal with AI in improving our own lives through customized AI.
Hello, my name is Xavier. I've been an AI developer and a programmer for the past 15 years. I've been working on a lot of AI-related projects, and I've launched more than probably 100 apps so far. So recently, I've been doing a lot of projects related to customize the AI model, because if you ask ChatGPT, if you ask Claude, they can give you some answer, but it's not really tailored to specific domain, and there's no guarantee it can be accurate. And in a lot of cases where we need accuracy. So today I'm going to share how we can actually customize those models and make sure the AI model can answer the question in a way that we want it to answer. So one thing we can do is called fine-tuning. Basically, we take a small subset of the data and then train the model so that you give more weight to the knowledge, to the data you feed the model, so that you will based on certain knowledge and then answer the question. So one example we're doing is that we work with the professor at Columbia. So we create a digital twin of the professor. Then you can ask questions similar to like the question you ask a typical professor. So say, oh, when's the final exam? You know, what will cover? You know, and when is Facebook like mentioned in the textbook? You know, which chapter will be would be asked in the final exam. All these kind of like questions that it's very specific to the professor. Then we can create a model of that, and then we have different model for different professor. That's called fine tuning. And to increase the accuracy is you need to create the preset of the Q&A, question and answer. So you basically design, okay, what kind of question the student will ask, and what kind of answer we should give to the student. Then you can actually prepare that data set and use that data set to train the model. I will give an example later. So we all know that, you know, like the quality of the AI output is going to depend on the data. So if the data is correct, then the output will be correct. If the data is updated, then the output will be correct. So the data source matters, data structure matters, the diversity matters, and the consistency matters. And the Q&A, there's a lot of detail, but basically we need to make sure the question need to be like very diversified and also very consistent. For example, you want to give answer like of certain length, for like 50 like characters, you know? And so that you use that data to train the model, then the model will give you a certain like length of answer. That's how you actually control like the model, so that it can give you specific length of answer. And another way of like increasing the answer, the accuracy of the answer, is to do the ragging. So the ragging, the way it works is that we convert the text into basically a bunch of numbers, and then we call it embedding, and then we will trunk them first, and then embed them. And then when we answer the question, it go to the database and then fetch the data and then try to analyze which one is more relevant and then answer. So that's how it works with the ragging. That's also one way to increase the accuracy of the content. And let me give an example of the project we're working on right now. Can I have the idea is that you can talk to this professor. Okay, now it works. Okay, but the idea is that you can talk to this professor, and then you will respond using his voice, using his knowledge, using like, you know, like whatever he's teaching in Columbia University. So we basically create a digital version of him, and you cannot tell the difference between like talking to him and talk to the real him. So that's kind of the idea of like, you know, creating a digital twin of different professors, and that's what they're using right now. And also we create a lot of customized model for the curriculum or the class material, so that the student, they can ask any question 24 hours for 7. And that's one use case. And another use case is that we have another stuff we're working on, which is helping you find the cheapest credit card, you know, across different countries. So you basically say, hey, what's my credit score? And then you would, based on whatever you input, and then you would search for the cheapest, the lowest interest rate across different countries, and find the cheapest money in the world. Like you can borrow at the cheapest price, the lowest interest rate. So that's one use case. So we basically customize the model. So the model can do very specific tasks that it's tailored to you. It's tailored to that industry. And it can be so accurate that it just so it's similar to a human being. So also there's like some use cases where like you want multiple Q&A, like you ask one question, you get one answer, and sometimes the question is like a series of questions, and you basically need to train the model. So we call it multi-turn model training. So you basically need to kind of simulate how people ask questions, how the expert will answer the question. So you pre-design all this Q&A, and then you use this as the data set and to train the model. So there are many use cases we can do, and also there are always the good side and the bad side of each technology. For RAGing, for fine-tuning, usually it's faster. It's mimicking the style of someone talking. And RAGing is more for accuracy. You want to make sure that it's based on certain things. It's based on the facts or certain kind of knowledge. And if the answer never changed, I would suggest just use the typical database. You don't even need to fine-tune the model. Or you can use MCP, which is also a very popular tool nowadays. And this kind of the summary of how I think accurate model can be created. We want to make sure all the data can be cut into small pieces, and then also the data sets need to be more consistent. They need to look very consistent, and we want to augment the Q&A, basically create a variation of the same question so that it can answer the same question in 100 ways, so that it can cover different kind of way of asking a question, and then you will give a better answer. And every so often you want to collect the data and the chain on the new generated data. So that's also how you can improve the accuracy over time. I think that's it. That's a lot of, cool, thank you.
I just received a customized message from Dr. Huang's AI. It says the audience should be appreciative and give a customized clapping for Dr. Huang. Thank you, Dr. Huang, for showing us the future of humanity is AI, and the future of AI is customized AI. In recognition of your speech and your efforts, we would like to confer you a certificate of awards and recognition. Joseph, please come to the stage to present the awards.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your information and presentation. And we also have to take care of our friend, how do you pronounce it? Guija Wang. Certificate of Honor as Distinguished Achievement in our Official Intelligent Research Award to Guija Wang. Thank you very much, sir. That's the first one, and you hold it. We have another one coming up. It's pretty long, right? So another certificate of honor from the World Speaker Series 2026 at Trump Tower. Letters of appreciation. This award is presented to you. Guija Wang. 谢谢. And that's it. Letter of appointment. So you're also going to be a professor for the Boston International Business School. Presented to Guija Wang as a professor. Thank you very much for your information and presentations in tonight's event on Trump Tower. Thank you. Please start celebration.
Over here. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
The world of finance, coding, and mechanism is so interesting. The world of fintech is so interesting, and the chatbots give you very curt and humorous answers. One day I was asking the fintech chatbot how I can get money from nothing. It says, stop wasting your time. And then another occasion I asked the fintech chatbot and the same question. It says, 404 error, shortcut not found. Well, we need to learn more about fintech, and we'd like to invite the experts to come on stage. Let's welcome the Managing Director of Aurelian Labs. Yes, Mr. Aurelian Labs, Nathaniel Norman, to give us a speech.
Thank you. So Elvis asked me to come and do a talk about fintech, which, given that finance kind of underpins the entire economy in every industry, there's many ways that that can go. What we're building at Aurelian Labs is primarily infrastructure focused, the layers behind settlement, attestation, custody of assets, etc. However, what we find is most important for people to understand across any industry has nothing to do with the infrastructure of finance, but how they can use accessible tools that they have available to them to improve the ROI, the revenue retention, the expansion, and the efficiency of their business, no matter what industry you're in. So, I want to show you about some opportunities of AI as the foundation of finance, the foundation of fintech, how to integrate it into your business. And it's all about building proprietary workflows. This is what a LLM can do that a search engine could never do, that a software could rarely do. And that is to curate itself to your exact use cases, your needs, your customers, your competitive edge, your data sets, your privacy policies, and to curate around even the very learning methods and practices that your specific teams and employees do. In our experience, and with most of the clients that we work with to implement these opportunities, we find that the best direct ROI growth, the best efficiency boosts, come mainly into three areas. There are three main time leaks that also lead to leaks in lost revenue, leaks in the time of employees at the firm, and leaks of opportunities that are not able to be taken up. Slow responses to inquiries, to customer inquiries, to any kind of... Name me an industry that doesn't spend money on marketing. It's pretty hard to find one, right? Yet as much money and effort and time and expertise as we put into that, one of the biggest failure points is not in the failure of the marketing itself, but in what we do with those customers that are brought from it. The same time your company is likely getting an inquiry, and this doesn't matter if you're e-commerce and customer goods focused, or if you're a real estate brokerage firm leasing up a large building. Many people are sending inquiries not only to you, but to your competitors. Every hour that you fail to respond to them, the decay of that customer's interest compounds. Why is this something that still has to rest on somebody answering their email and phone when the majority of those inbound inquiries can be easily sorted, responded to in a personalized way, organized, tracked, and then moved along in your operational processes? Second type of leak that we see that in most of our consulting clients who we help to fix is funnel friction, that middle of your sales funnel. When you have a lead, you've onboarded somebody, they've reached out, you've talked to them, but there's that entire middle section of operations that has merely gone from manual to digital. We don't have to, in the same exact way, we don't have to wait for a mail service or courier service to deliver our message to another office in the middle of our business day. We can send an email, right? Takes that middle of the funnel, automates it. How about all the other manual processes that really went digital but not automated? Every time there is a change of someone who's responsible for a different task, there's new employees who have to either follow up on that. When an attorney has the paralegal do some legal research, right? To track past case law. And then by the time that is done, if they don't have a simple software that is able to put that in the right place so it's attached to the correct case, and then automatically update the client or the other attorneys on the case, then it easily gets disorganized, then time gets lost, then professionals who could be spending their time on the things they were trained to do, on the skill sets they have, are doing manual processes and losing the effective time that they have. It is not about, many people have the perspective we've seen on initial conversations. AI is quickly replacing people in skilled and unskilled jobs alike. That seems, in our experience, to be a worry people have that is relatively unfounded. In most professional cases, in most industries, what we see, the best applications, the most effective applications of ML and AI processes actually improve the efficiency of skilled individuals, allowing not only more efficiency on the firm level, but better use of their time, right? There are many ways this translates. Again, direct to ROI, customer retention, brand development. These are consequences of using the team, the talent that companies have, and curating it to what they do best. Third, and this speaks to the third main time leak that we see and help companies to solve, which is the repetition tax. If I ask this room, who here does at least one task in their work that requires no real insight, capability, or intelligence, that they do at least 20 times a week, other than sending emails, right? Any line of work you're in, whether if you're in real estate, it's reviewing the same credit reports from tenants who applied. If you are in sales, right? You're doing the initial outbound, you're doing the initial background research on any company or client or individual you're reaching out to. Extrapolate that to whatever industry you're in. Find whatever moments throughout your day, throughout your week, you're losing time, minutes, hours on doing. I can guarantee you, there's a way to either improve the efficiency of that process that still requires your sign-off, and the human in the loop, if you will, or a way to automate it entirely. I'm giving a little bit of our secret sauce, if you will, here. Take note of this method, try to replicate it in your business, and then let us know how it works for you. Find what those processes are, those places where you're losing time. Track how many minutes a week you lose to that. A couple examples are up here, right? Just to give you some ideas. Track how many minutes a week are spent on it. Do some deep discussions with your LLM of choice. Talk to an expert if you want. Talk to Xavier right here. He can tell you how to do this in 10 minutes and you'll learn what it would take you hours otherwise. Come and talk to our team about it. We'll give you some tips. Find the agentic tools that you can use to simply automate those processes, improve the efficiency. Check 2 weeks later how much time you've saved. However, whatever your hourly rate is, or you think your time is worth on an hourly basis, or your team if you're leading one, price it against the minutes you spent, the minutes you saved every week, compound that for a year, and tell me if that investment is worth it. By the way, we're talking about shelling out anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 if you're a small business up to a enterprise level. Payroll is one of the most expensive factors for almost any business. This is a way to not reduce payroll. It's a way to maximize efficiency, productivity, and output without increasing your headcount. Do a quick ROI scan, right? This is activities-based costing, but the agentic version. If you want to go deeper than just finding a couple individual tasks, map out your whole workflow. Ask your coworkers to do this. Do this with your team. If you lead a company, have your entire team go through this process. Do it together. Find the frequency, duration you're losing time on. Again, determine the cost of those minutes. The bottlenecks you might identify, think from the lens of, if I didn't have to do this, actually better yet, does this require my expertise that I went and got a degree for? is this part of my job something that I was really hired to do, that I qualified for, or is this something that anyone or anything could do? Then back to one of our earlier presenters was saying, what can you do? What can the AI do? What can be done together? Maximize your efficiency by moving as much as possible, while where necessary, keeping a human in the loop, oversight, verification, governance factors, etc. You keep those, and as much of your work as possible, you want to put it into an agentic framework built for your specific industry, business, or use case. Every enterprise has different privacy policy requirements. Every industry has different regulatory requirements. While we all know of the major LLMs that run through the cloud that do not protect your data or privacy, thus limiting enterprises' use cases, there are agentic solutions that can be built and locally hosted in your own company's private servers. They can be run on a virtual private server more simply. Point being, the major barriers to larger AI adoption and agentic tool adoption, small business up to enterprise, every single one of them has a solution that has existed for at least the last 2 years. It's about finding the right ones to curate to your exact use case. This is anything but a one-size-fits-all. These are tools that need to be curated within the specific environments and needs, data sets, and characteristics of your individual business or company. If you guys want to learn any more about this, again, I cannot stress this enough. Talk to your LLM of choice about it. Discuss it in detail. Give it context. Drop a document in the chat saying of your business plan or of your company's overview, right? Dive deep in this, and those tools are the very ones that will help you to learn more about it. If you'd like to figure out how you could build such an infrastructure or have one developed for your specific company, please come up and talk to me or my team. We'll be here for the next couple of hours. Thank you.
Thank you, Nathaniel. It sounds like fintech is like a salvage joke. It's brutal, high risk, and high reward. Thank you, Nathaniel Norman, for bringing us the nice world of fintech, and we would like to give you some recognition for your achievement.
Okay, thank you, Nathan. We have a recognition for you, a certificate of honor for Distinguished Leadership in AI and FinTech Award, awarded to Nathaniel Norman. Thank you, Nathaniel. We have one more here, another certificate of honor, World Speaker Series 2026, letter of appreciation presented to Nathaniel Norman from the BIBS. Thank you again. And one more. And one more here. This is an appointment letter. You're going to be appointed as professor. A letter of appointment at Boston International Business School. We are pleased to appoint Nathaniel Norman as a professor. And this is from the organization of BIBS. And you raise those microphone up and everybody will follow you. Our eStar TV is ready to take a video and a camera. Take a nice picture. Okay, don't move because we're going to go to Dubai now. It is very important, the next move. We have a 2-minute video. We're going to go to Dubai. We show a 2-minute video of one of the most successful men probably around. I was just in Dubai about 2 weeks ago. I came back. I'm still a little bit sleepy because there's 9 hours of difference. It's 5 o'clock in the morning there. And basically, in Dubai, talking about successful story, it is a very successful story. This man is an incredible horse. An incredible horse who is a billionaire, who is working around 35 countries around the world, built his business all around the world. So it is an example to follow, and he's a friend of mine, a friend of Professor Leah Roman. And hold on. And he's also, let me see, this is the man. Well, you see with the guy over here? He's holding very powerful papers in his hands, worth in billions. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, let's see the video of our friend in
Dubai is a sheikh, Jackson Chan.
17.5. From 15 years before we come to Dubai, and we start to do some electronic trading business. And then around 5 years later, we start to develop Europe and American market. And from that time, we start to do construction and finance more business. Even now, we're doing a VC company in the United States like Arkema Ventures Limited. And from zero to this level, like $10 billion size company, we already struggling many years. Several times we nearly died in several areas, and but at last we passed through very suffering time, and currently we got $10 billion as our assets. From the year end, we have the confidence to increase our assets to $100 billion, and the company increasing very fast. And now we do many things all over the world, even the technology, everything we do invest on it, and many projects in our hand. Currently, we already have 30 subsidiaries all over the world. To this achievement, I think it's not easy, and from zero, we don't stand on anyone's shoulders. We doing everything one coin by our own hand. It is not easy job. And we hope our life can encourage all people in the world to working hard for better life. That's it.
So he's an incredible man. He deserves a nice round of applause. That was his lovely wife, and the man works really hard. And he started very young. He lives between China and Dubai in the last 50 years. He's done many different businesses. So he promotes. He's a philanthropist. He's a good man. He does a lot for the communities, both of Dubai, United States, and China. So he's a good friend of ours. Thanks to Dr. Jeannie Yi, we got to meet him, and now he's our friend and friend of Professor Leo Rong. And probably will be here next month, I assume, to speak at the next session. So you might want to meet him. He give you a good idea how to become a billionaire. Right, Elvis, let's hear from Elvis, who's doing a tremendous job for tonight. Thank you very much, Elvis. And next comment.
How many of you heard of Warren Buffett? Please raise your hand. How many of you know Berkshire Hathaway? Please raise your hand. How many of you have attended the annual Berkshire Hathaway stockholders meeting? Please raise your hand. How many of you are planning to go to the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting this coming May 2nd? Please raise your hand. Okay. I see most of you knows what's happening to Berkshire Hathaway and Warren Buffett, but you may not know well enough. And for many of you, also quite several of you who doesn't know about Berkshire Hathaway and the stockholders meeting, you're in for a good treat, because our next speaker will help you summarize the investment strategies of Warren Buffett over 30 years. The wisdom, the gems, the diamonds, the gold nuggets, everything you can find in the investment advice of Warren Buffett. He's here to regurgitate his results, his findings, to give you a valuable, crystal clear lessons for you. So you don't have to go all the way to Omaha for the stockholders conference. Let's welcome to the stage Omaha Value Creation, President of Omaha Value Creation, Ed Lee.
Thank you, Elvis. I first want to say luck is the most important thing in your life, actually. I wouldn't be here without Mr. Warren Buffett, because I get to know Gloria, because we go to Omaha every single year together. So I'm so lucky, feel so lucky to be here with all of you, and so luck plays a critical role in your life. But I also want to mention this year, first of all, is the year of horse. And we have our guest speaker now, our distinguished Professor Scott Bloom, the year of horses for you. And I want to share the news that, not news, but Mr. Warren Buffett actually is also a horse. So welcome to Omaha if you get a chance, if you haven't been. So this is a very lucky year, especially for the ones who are born in the year of horse. So, the other thing at Omaha is actually not just learning about investment. In Chinese Asian culture, longevity is the most important blessing in your life. We have 5 blessings that's treasured in Chinese culture, but longevity is the first. So that's why when Professor Leah Zhong talked about at the beginning, actually when she talked about real estate business at BIBS, we want to explore really the open area where how longevity combines with real estate. But that will be the additional discussion we can have maybe after this. Today's topic is really to share the 3 decades of engagement of Mr. Warren Buffett with China. This is the 30th year, so this is a really special year. In fact, we're preparing, actually I'm in charge of writing a book about this whole project. So any of you who are experienced with writing or wants to contribute, want to participate, you're more than welcome. This book is all for really targeted for all the Chinese families that really are following Mr. Warren Buffett, that are probably exceeding over 100 million people, especially in China. So please get in touch with me if you're interested in. So the first time actually Mr. Warren Buffett went to China is 1995. So this is really a story not about investing, but more importantly, it's a story about principles. 3 decades, really one philosophy. Over the past 3 decades, engagement between Warren Buffett and China has evolved through 3 phases. The first one is initial engagement. The second one is deeper partnership. The third one is maturity and complexity. Through those 3 decades comes with really different environments, different headlines, different levels of uncertainties. Yet, remarkably, the philosophy remained the same. For the first decade, from 1995 to 2004, it's the decade of valuation before narrative. In 1995, Buffett visited China for the first time. At the same time, China was still early in its reform era. Many global investors were very cautious. Yet, Berkshire Hathaway invested in PetroChina, not because it was fashionable, not because it was political, but not because it was trending, because it's undervalued. Buffett separated politics from price. The lesson from that decade is very simple. Value does not depend on geography. Rational thinking travels across borders. For the second decade, from 2005 to 2014, it's really the decade of partnership and capability. The second major engagement came through BYD with introduction by Mr. Li Lu. At the time, electric vehicles were uncertain. Few imagined BYD would become a global force. But what did Buffett see? He sees engineering strength. He sees operational discipline. He sees founder-led leadership and long-term skill. That was not a short-term trade. It was trust in capable management. The lesson: investing is not about predicting headlines. It is about identifying durable advantage and having the patience to let it compound. So the third decade, from 2015 to 2024, is the decade of complexity and also tests of conviction. The third decade brought greater complexity. Geopolitical politics intensified. Technology accelerated. Markets became more interconnected. But the philosophy did not change. The focus remained in fundamentals over headlines, on long-term ownership over short-term reaction, on reputation over speculation. Complexity does not eliminate principles, it tests them. And when the principles survive complexity, they became legacy. Why this matters? We are living in an era of AI, capital transformation, and global recalibration. Speed is increasing. Information is overwhelming. Volatility is constant. The temptation today is reaction, but Buffett's 30-year journey teaches something different. Think rationally and act with discipline and own for the long term. These principles are universal. Finally, I have some personal reflection. For me personally, attending the Berkshire Hathaway annual meeting for over a decade, and recently bringing my son with me, have reinforced something important. Investing is not only about capital, it's about passing judgment to the next generation. We're not simply compounding money, we're compounding wisdom. And in a world of acceleration, judgment may become the most valuable asset of all. This year, this Lunar New Year, is really about renewal and responsibility. Tonight, as we celebrate the Lunar New Year, we are reminded every cycle resets, every year renews, and every generation inherits responsibility. 30 years of engagement demonstrate that markets evolve, policies shift, technology transforms, but principles endure. If we can carry forward rationality, discipline, integrity, and long-term ownership, then the next 30 years will not simply be more complex, they will be more meaningful. Thank you. Happy Lunar New Year. May we continue building bridges with clarity, courage, and long-term vision like we are here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. When you invest in something ridiculous, that is called finding a unicorn. What about long-term investment? It's blind faith plus optimism. Thank you, Ellie, for sharing a very valuable lesson from Warren Buffett. And we should also give you a certificate of award and recognition.
Yes, we have those awards. Of course we have. Let's hear from Professor Ed Lee, who tonight has a double role as a co-host and a speaker. Certificate of Honor, World Speaker Series 2026, Distinguished Lifetime Achievement in Value, Investing and Risk Management Award, presented to Ed Y. Lee. 谢谢. Okay. Certificate of Honor and Letter of Appreciation also to Professor Ed Y. Lee. Thank you, sir. Let's take a nice photo for our
Okay.
Okay, thank you. It was a very valuable information tonight. Elvis.
Next up, I want to bring you into a miniature world of monopoly, where hotels, real estate are on a chessboard. Every time you walk on the streets of Manhattan, you hit someone's property. And when you have some players who do it so good, you always hit on their property. I want to introduce to you someone in that scenario. He is the president of Century Development Corp. Let's welcome to the stage, George Xu.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you for having me. I know we had many great speakers. I know Scott gave a very passionate speech and talk about, for the next 4 years, how is the real estate gonna look like in New York City, and then freezing the rent, yet raising potentially, or definitely raising the real estate tax. Eventually, it's going to push the developers to build less and less rental buildings. And as it is right now, and then it's usually, it's harder to underwrite a project, for rental buildings to get the construction financing. But if they want to freeze the rent, and then it just numbers, it doesn't work. So if the cities really went to pumping more rental units or just any affordable units, I think they have to do their math correctly. Otherwise, it's going to backfire on them. So my name is George Su, president of Century Development Group. So I have been doing real estate development since 1999, and I was born in China. Come to the States in 1986. It's a little over 40 years right now, and went through the high school, went to NYU for my bachelor's degree and then the master's degree. So I was a computer programmer for a few years before I turned to real estate, and I never looked back. It's a very rewarding, and then a lot of people said that, hey, what do you think about it? How are you gonna deal with it? I say that New York City went through so many years of transformation, so many terms of mayors, different mayors, and we still survived. And if you look at the real estate price, we're still doing great, right? So if you compare dollar per square feet sales numbers, and then Scott will have all the numbers, he does commercial more than the residential sales. But Long Island City, right now we can demand, our projects, we demand about 1,700, 1,800 per square feet, new condos, and that's the kind of price we're getting. And in Flushing, and we just finished the first 5-star hotel in Queens, and we finished it last year, 246 keys, and then all of our condo units are sold, and we got 1,600 per square feet. That's unheard of in Flushing area. So you can tell the real estate is really coming up. So obviously the policies is going to affect the industry. So we'll see what we're going to find out. So, but I want to, let me just, how do I, okay. So since 1999, and we did numerous projects. I can't keep track of it. So, and we also, I mean, later few years, probably within the last 10 years, we also have EB5 be part of our capital stack. But mainly, we did over 2 million square feet of constructions. And a lot of the things we're keeping, like all the hotels we're keeping and not selling, and all the condo units, and then we have rental units in Jamaica, we have rental in Flushing, and out of the part of the tax planning, and some of the units that we're keeping. So the rental obviously will impact me if they freeze the rent. And so how I say, how am I going to deal with the tax, right? So we just keep building. I think today actually my wife was there, Lily, and then we just closed another piece of property in Long Island City. So I think things are moving. So hopefully the people in City Hall is not going to make some dramatic changes, and it's going to impact what we're doing right now. So by the way, affordable housing, City of Yes. I don't know if anybody knows City of Yes. Okay, and City of Yes actually give a lot of benefits for building, affordable units and extra zoning square feet. You can build bigger buildings if you do affordable units. So we used to build 25% affordable units. Right now we build 30%, and I'm into it. So if you give me extra square feet, I'll build it. So I think just providing extra incentive for developers, and then eventually will create more units in the city. So I know hopefully the freezing rent is not really impacting the commercial leasing for you, right?
Not at all.
Yeah, so at least commercial, property owners is not gonna impact it. But we just keep building, and that this is the western building, and then we actually finished, we opened it last June. And the Long Island City project. So this is interesting. So we got this brand. This is the third Westin in entire New York City. First 5-star in Queens, and we have 246 keys. We have swimming pools, and so all the goodies. And then we think that Flushing area it's mature enough to. Many years ago, actually, I got the flag. Probably 8-10 years ago, and I talked to myself. I said, which flag can we use, right? So I also own the 4 Points Hotel in Flushing as well. I said that Flushing, we had Sheraton on 39th Avenue for over 40 years. That was the highest brand in Flushing area. Elvis probably, not anybody lives in Flushing for a long time. And I said that, so the market, it should be mature enough after 40 years for a higher brand. And that's what we did, and it turned out all right, and we are very busy too. And then we're only a few minutes away from LaGuardia. And then for those of you guys know that there are gonna be 2 casinos. There's Bali, and then next to the Whitestone Bridge, and the Hard Rock is next to Cityfield. That was Steve Cohen's project, right? So it's gonna be, we'll be doing well. I mean, anybody know about licensing the hotels? So that probably will impact all the existing hotel owners if they want to unionize the hotels, and then probably will put a dent on the hotel developers. But anyway, so just moving forward a little bit, and some of the previous project, the 4 Point, we call it Farrington because we have 210 rooms to 4 Point project. Some earlier project in Jamaica, we do affordable housing, it's pure rental. And some of the projects, earlier projects in Long Island City, and we have Holiday Express in Woodside, and some other projects. So I just want to have a casual chat with you guys, So I mean, if you guys want to, ask me, so what kind of important. And Scott have a question.
So the condominiums, congratulations, great price, profit.
Thank you.
We need profit.
what percentage of the buyers are Chinese or Chinese descent?
We probably,
Vast majority.
yeah, vast majority.
We also have
But
a good amount of international buyers as well, and we have a channel of safely maneuvering those.
And are they moving in as their primary residence, or are they buying for investment and renting?
Mix, we have a lot of buyers that they're buying for their kids. And then we have other buyers, the foreign buyers, they just want to move the money out of the country so they can diversify their investment overseas. And so that, which actually also helping, right? So if you look at all the inventory on the market, right, how are you gonna absorb them, right? So local buyers are eventually gonna be depleted, they already bought the units already. So we're actually just tapping that kind of demand, which is working out for us. Obviously, talk about AI today. I think the main thing is AI. So we actually do use AI to help us. So obviously, my wife is more of an expert to me. So we actually ask the AI which market, when we develop in certain market, we ask AI what is the unit mix, meaning how many what's the percentage of 2 bedrooms, what's the percentage of 1 bedroom, what's the percentage of studios. And then you can also ask them, I said, what is the most welcome sizes of 1 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms? So all of this, and then you can ask AI, what is a suitable architect for this project? All that kind of, it's amazing how AI can help you. So just talk about, how AI is helping everybody's, so it's helping different industries. Obviously, I can't speak for other industries, but at least for this industry, it does help a lot. So with that, I'm just gonna end my speech, So if you guys have any questions, you can ask me. Otherwise, so I'll be around here for a little bit.
Thank you, President George Shih. And to expand the board game, 2-dimensional board game of Monopoly into 3-dimension real world is so interesting. Represented by Century Development Corp, a major player contributing to the skylines of Manhattan and many streets of Manhattan. You're meeting the player here, the high roller here. Okay, to appreciate his contributions, we're going to give him awards and recognitions.
Elvis, I usually take the high rollers down to Atlantic City. I used to strip them off. Anyway, thank you very much. Actually, George, when you come out, go see these things. All this project he's doing in Long Island City is really incredible what he's building. He changed the landscape, and they overlook Manhattan, so you have one of the best views of Manhattan. Thanks to Mr. George Yu. Thank you, sir. This is a certificate of honor, and we want to thank you today. Distinguished Leadership in International Investment and Economic Development Award to George Yu. There's one, and they got a second one. And another certificate of honor, World Speaker Series 2026, letter of appreciation to Mr. George Yu. Tochie is Anthony.
Yeah, that's very good.
Letter of appointment from the Boston International Business School. We are pleased to appoint George Yu as professor. Thank you very much, sir. And congratulations to your work.
Thank you here.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Let's hear from Mr. Yu. And Lily, his wife, has done a great job in changing the landscape. Thank you, sir.
And the excitement is not over. We have another big player in the game of Monopoly, the real-life Monopoly. Let's welcome to the stage, Director of the Land Group, which is also another powerful big player. Lawrence Chan to the stage.
Thank you very much. And it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be here. And thank you very much the BIBS invited me to be here. And it is a great honor to be I think I'm the last one. And also continue the Chinese New Year tradition, which is a horse, okay? And I'm 60 years old, and it's a special horse. It's called Fire Force. Okay, every 60 years it comes back.
fire force. Okay. And, I hope I'll bring some good luck to everybody here tonight. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much first. And if you look at the PPT here, my title, the whole speech is very simple, and I'm going to cut it very short. I know we're getting there right now. It's about EB-5 investment. And this EB-5 program, which that started, it started in 2009. And the first project is start from New York. So that's why I put the New York down there. And here, yes, New York, we have everything here. All right. So we start the first project and the second project. And actually, I get involved in the first project and the second project. Okay. So I started doing EB-5 since 2009. The first project is in Brooklyn, Navy Yard. And I just give a brief introduction to the whole history. At the first project, we're doing Navy Yard new construction, right? Because the Navy Yard after World War II, it basically is abandoned, nobody using it. So we took over the Navy Yard and we changed it to industrial area. So the first project we do is $60 million. At that time, every investor $2.5 million. That means we need 120 investors. And you know what? We get it done within 6 months. At the very beginning project. Okay, so at that area, during the period of time, everything goes fast because there's no project in the whole world, right? It's the first project. And after the project, we know 90% of investors come from China. All right, so we know there is a huge market in China, the demand for EB-5 investors. They won't come to the United States, they have money, and also they love to this country. They actually love US here. All right. So the second project come along very soon. There is also another company, and so I also get involved in the second company. It's called New York Immigration Fund. And that project, they start with what? They start with a Times Square hotel. And for that project, we do 75 million, which means 150 investors. We also get it done within the 6 months, something like that. Okay. So 2009, I start with the first project. At the very beginning, I do learning. You know, it's very everything new. All right, so everybody's learning. So after the first project, second project, I become the company, the new regional center. Only regional center can handle EB-5 project. Not every company. I mean, if you start a company, I mean, everybody knows. You go to the internet, 5 minutes you get a company, right? But that company cannot handle EB-5 project. Only licensed by USCIS, which is the U.S. Immigration Service. Only the government authorizes you, the company, to become a regional center. Then you can handle EB-5 project like that. You can do like 100 people, 200 people. The highest you can go is like 500 people. All right. So we handle different projects, and I'm so lucky that I've been doing this for since 2009 until now, so like more than 15 years. Okay. So we go over 500 investors, and for myself, I've done 5 hotels in New York City alone. All right, and actually, Mr. Su just mentioned before, Century 21, they have a very nice hotel project in Flushing, West End. Okay, so it's very good EB-5 project too. All right, so I'm going to get it moving. All right, so let's move on. So when you do an EB-5 investor, some people know, some people doesn't know. So I just briefly introduce that. All you need is that if you invest 800,000, okay, and then you can immigrate to the USA. Very simple. A lot of people want to come to this country, but they don't have a relative here. They don't know how to do it. So EB-5 is the simplest way for you to come to the United States. All you need is like invest the money, and also remember the money go in, you get the money back. Okay. So usually the project EB-5 project is for 5 years. Because it's a cycle. You invest into the business, and the business work, and the money come back. So most, I would say 99% of project do it 5 years. And after more than 10 years, this is pretty much the standard. All right. So you look at all the market, the project out there, if they tell you less than 5 years, or maybe 2 years, 3 years, usually it's very hard to get it done. All right. So the more is like 5 years. So you invest 800,000 into a project. And also one more requirement is you have to create 10 jobs. You know what? Because it's a trade for U.S. government with the investor. So U.S. government
very welcome everybody come from whole world, all right? Come to live here, to invest here. We need money here. Investment come in here, help U.S. economy. But how they measure that? They don't care how much money you make, but if you can create 10 jobs for the U.S. people, that's helping U.S. economy. So there's only requirement is that you create 10 jobs in 2 years or 2 years. Okay, and so every project they have to tell you that how many jobs they can create. They cannot create any job. That's not a good project. All right. So what basically you do is that you invest and you create job, and then the whole family can come to the United States. Okay. So how it goes? The advantage of this is like the whole family, only one person, parent, father, mother, invest, all the children, even 10 children, you bring them all to the United States. Okay. So only one investor, the whole family can come to the United States, and then there's no age limit. So even you had a baby, okay, you're 1 year old, whatever, you bring them over here, all right? So there's no age. And then also, you come here, this is a free country, so everywhere you can go. You can go live in Hawaii, California, New York, wherever you like, okay? And then also, there's no other requirement. All you need is investment, and you come to the United States. They don't require you have to speak English, or you have to be like a professional doing some job, how much income. There's no any other requirement. All you need is invest and then create a job. Like I said in the previous screen, okay? And now, the procedure I briefly introduced it. You choose a good project and you put the money into the escrow account. Why put it in escrow account? Because the money is there, not put into the project yet, until you got approved by the US government. Okay, they're going to look at your project, look at your investment, make sure everything good, then they approve your investment, then the money go into your project. If you are petition, we're talking about I-526E petition. If the petition doesn't go through, the US immigration government doesn't approve you, then the money go back to you, because sometimes they have a certain question they need to go through right. Otherwise, you cannot go approve. Okay. So I'm going to go through a little bit detail about how come you get rejected. And then also I do the last ones for the Chinese, because I had like I told you, majority of people from for EB5 project is come from China. All right. So if you are in China, I understand that some people probably very familiar with Guangzhou. Okay, I heard somebody say they're from Guangzhou before. Okay, somebody around here. Okay, so the only U.S. consulate they have to do an interview and issue the EB5 project, EB5 visa is from Guangzhou. So you go to Guangzou, the interview, you get a approval, you get a visa. Once you get a visa, you can come to the United States. All right, so if you get a visa today, they stamp on your passport. All right, EB5 visa. Okay, if you are a foreign student, you are doing the I-20, right? I-20 visa. Okay, so you got the visa, then tomorrow, you got it today, tomorrow you can come to the United States. Okay, so you landed in the United States, once you go through the custom, then you got your green card already. They'll stamp on your passport. Okay, so the first day you got your green card is when you landed in the United States. Okay, and after that, after 2 years, then you can go to another petition. That's for permanent green card. So the first green card that stand on you is only 2 years. Why 2 years? Because you have to, after 2 years, you have to prove that you create 10 jobs for 2 years. This is one of the requirements. Okay, you show the U.S. government, I'm here, I put the money here, I'm helping the U.S. economy. I create at least 10 jobs for the country here. Okay, so that's why you have that. All right, let's move on. So, 2 questions. This is most people ask me these 2 questions in the past more than 15 years. First, can I get my EB5 visa? They want to do it, okay, but how can they get it? Maybe in the middle or somewhere they cannot get the whole petition go through application fail, all right? Second, my money go in, how can I get my money back, right? I put the money in the project very easy, but after 5 years, how can I get my money back? So these are the 2 major questions I got asked all the time. Now, let's talk about the green card. Why do you get rejection? The first one, if you want to invest, you have to file the first petition. Like say I stand for immigration. Okay, so it's a form I-526E. The important thing is you have to prove your fund. The U.S. government, they want to know that your money is clean money. Okay, it's not a money laundering. right? I mean, there's so much money pouring around in the world. Okay, you have good money, you have bad money, and then you have some money like we know this last fall, right? Phone 4, whatever, right? So those money, U.S. government won't accept the money for investment. So first thing we call a social fund. You have to prove your fund is the correct, is a clean money. All right, you cannot just come to the United States. Okay, I have the money. I put all the cash there. They're not going to accept the money. All right, so you have to have the paper to prove that where you got your money, how you earn the money, 800,000. All right, so you say, okay, I have an investment. I buy a stock, right? 10 years ago, I put 100,000 in there. Right now, it become 100,000. So you can prove the whole trade. How you get the money from 0 to 800,000 for investment, and then also the paper fund. Where the money come from? You cannot tell me that the money is come from this country, that country, that fooling around. No, you have to prove that the country come from my personal account. Okay, so this too is very important. So every time we have to advise all the investors that before you do anything, you have to talk to the lawyer. We make sure everything right. Okay, then you move your money. Okay, otherwise don't even bother. I don't want to waste the investors' money or their time. Because if you don't do this two things right, you definitely got rejected. I understand 100% you'll be rejected. The reason I'm very lucky. In the past more than 15 years, I handle more than 500 cases. Every case is successful. The reason is we check this very closely. Okay, every investor before they invest, we talk to them. We make sure they understand everything. Then we start the process. So after we start it, everything goes smoothly. Then that's why we 100% approve rate. All right. So now let's go to the next one. And then this is the second green card. I'm talking about permanent green card, right? First one is only 2 years. After 2 years, you apply this to make sure you tell the U.S. government I create 10 jobs for 2 years. So that's why they wait for 2 years to apply for this one. This is very simple. You just have to prove that you create 10 jobs. Okay, so when you do a project, you know this project can create 10 jobs. You cannot go into any project if they don't create any job, then you cannot, you fail. So that's very important. All right, so that's the first question. How can I get my visa and my green card? These two applications are very important. If you pass these two applications, you get your permanent green card. Okay, so the main reason they reject it, the one is about money, this one is about job. Okay, so we have 2 green cards, get it done. Now, the second main question is like, how can I get my money back? Everybody know, we put the money in the project very simple, I just put it in there, right? But how you earn the money back is the hardest one. Okay, so now, it's very simple, it says right there, choose the right project. Okay, if the project fail, everything fail. The project fail, that means what? You cannot get your money back, and then the project cannot create enough job. So you lose your money and lose your green card, right? You have to prove that project create 10 jobs for you. Okay, so the very most important thing when you do EP5 is choose the right project. All right, and then a successful project, everything goes well. You get your money back, you get your green card. If the project fail, then everything goes downhill, and you're not getting anything. All right, you lose your green card and you can lose your money. Okay, and some people come to me and say, can I get my money back and without green card? Yeah, you can get your money back without green card. Very easy. The project is successful, but they didn't create enough job, right? The requirement is you have to create 10 jobs. So let's say we have 10 investors go into this project, they have to create 100 jobs, right? But if they only create 90 jobs, you probably can lose you probably cannot get your green card, not enough job. Okay, so actually 4 cases can all happen. The first one is a successful project. You get your money back and you get your green card. The second one is let's just say here, you lost your green card because you didn't create enough job, but you get your money back because the project is successful, you also made money. The third case, you get your green card, but you lost your money. The reason why, the project goes well, okay, you create job, but at the end, they cannot make the money back. All right, so you get your green card after 5 years, you get your green card, they create enough job for you, but the business might go downhill. They cannot make enough money to pay your investment back. So that can happen too. The worst one is you lose your money and lose your green card. And in this market, there's 3 types of people doing it right now. Okay, so I just put into 3 big categories. One is like me and
Century Group. Okay, they've done like 6 projects successful. They're going to the 7th project right now. Okay, they are all successful. All of us have been doing like more than 10 years. Okay, I'm doing 15 years. They probably is close to 15 years too. You know, we are very early a mover in the EB5 projects. So what happens is that if you choose a good project like George's project, you don't have to worry about that. Everything goes well, and they successfully get everything. All right. But if you find the wrong people, then you got problem. There's 3 types of people here. First one is like us. Okay, George, we do everything according to the book. Okay, according to the law. And every investor come in, we review the information first before we accept it. Okay, we don't just, if you come to me, then we accept it. We don't do that. Okay, we look at your situation first, and we make sure you are looking good, then we will help you to find a lawyer and then start the process. So that's why we're 100% successful. Like what I'm doing, and then Century Group, so they also are 100% approval. Okay, so that's why we are so successful. Second kind of people is that they want to do it. They have a good heart to do it. But what happens like, for example, let's say we are building a Westin hotel, okay? But they get involved so much thing in there. Like you know, architect, the blueprint, how to hire good people, construction company. There is so many things get involved. Some people they think they can do it, but in the middle they fail. Something hit it, they cannot finish. Especially a few years ago when it hit a pandemic, they actually hurt so many projects. Once pandemic hit, they stop working. And you cannot get to work. Let me tell you one very simple example. Construction worker, $300 a day. Okay, they go up there, they're very dangerous job, right? They go in the high 50 floor, on top of the 30 floor, they work around there, very dangerous. You have to pay about $300 every day. But when pandemic hit, the government paid them money to stay home. So they stay home, they get $300 also. But the project need to move, right? You have the time to go, you have the budget to go. So we tell the workers, please come over, we cannot wait. They say, okay, I'll come to work for you, but pay me $600. But what? $600? You know what? Because I sit here, I don't do anything, I get $300, right? So you have paid me, the government pay me, on top of that, I'm working right now, $200 more. So double. the worker double pay. And then material go up too, because a lot of factories close, right? No, there's no supply, everything is going up. So if you hit some project, that people, they want to do it right here. But when they hit something like this from nowhere, they cannot handle it, they fail. Okay, for this kind of people, I don't blame them because something can happen. Yeah, business got risk, right? So the worst one, I just tell you this one. This one is you have to really watch out. They are here to scam your money. Okay, they make a brochure much better than this. They make a beautiful brochure. All right, they put everything in there. All they do is try to put the money in there, and then they disappear. So if you go through the internet, right, you see a lot of project fail. Most come from those people. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to move fast. Right. So I just want to let you know what's the situation in the internet, or whatever you see your story. Now, the last one, I go back to our Mr. George Xu. The Century Development Group. I'm sorry, I was Century 21, sorry about that. So this is a good project, okay? So the reason I really recommend that is that, you already see Mr. Xu talk about his company, his development. He's been doing this since the 2000, actually earlier, 1999. Okay, 1999. So it's like more than 20 years experience, all successful. Okay, and they have done 6 projects, very good project, very successful. So one thing, like, if you're really interested in EB5 project, we are here. Okay, so you can come to us, you get a brochure. Okay, and then any question, just ask. We are right here. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. So, thank you, and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lawrence, for helping to bring money into America when America is suffering from economic loss and no robust economy. We would like to give you some recognition.
The EB5 program is very important for investors to get a visa. They do a lot on 8th Avenue, Brooklyn, and Flushing. Okay, thank you for your presentation. Certificate of Honor, World Speaker Series 2026, Distinguished Leadership in Global Real Estate Development Award to Mr. Lawrence Chan. Thank you, Mr. Chan. We have a Certificate of Honor also and a letter of appreciation presented to Mr. Lawrence Chan from BIBS. And of course, we have a letter of appointment in your field. The Boston International Business School appoints Lawrence Chan as professor of the BIBS. Thank you for your great presentation and information that are going to be valuable for all the investors, especially EB5.
Right, go here. Okay.
Okay. How long does it take to get the visa?
Right now, if you are here to apply here, you can stay here and you don't have to go back. And we will get you the temporary green card very fast, like within a year or two, you got it here.
By investing 800,000?
Yeah, 800,000, and you get the money back. Remember, okay, the money only put there for
escrow.
Yeah, escrow account, and you go to the project for 5 years, and also you get some interest.
That's a very good program because remember, Trump wants $1 million to get a gold visa, right?
Yeah.
So,
It's a motivation.
yeah. Thank you. Back to Elvis.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you much.
Our next speaker listens to the beauty of nature, interprets the message of Mother Earth, speak to us with kindly, softly messages that help to resonate our hearts. She has millions of fans, it's true. We are very privileged today to welcome to the stage the anchor for CCTV. She has millions of fans and she has a special channel to herself, Nature and Agriculture. Let's welcome to the stage, Ji-Hong Jen.
Hello everyone. Maybe my English is not very so good, but today I learned so much. And I learned so many interesting fields to tell us how to spend money. Maybe the next thing I will tell something maybe we could together earn money. So the time is so late, so I want to go to the red room, but I think I can keep a little moment. Okay, now let the speaker side, we could choose the right person. I think I will be the right person. So the first, I will introduce myself. So let you know me deeply, maybe. So my name is Jiang Jinhong, and I'm from China, and I'm a host on the Agriculture and Rural Affairs channel of China Central Television, CCTV, and I'm delighted to be here at this forum, invited by Sister Hong. This is my good sister. Thank you for inviting, thank you. And we are a team travel around here. This is my third time here. And thank you for my team leader, a Chinese traditional medicine, Master Qiao. Yes, he's a very famous person in China. And with my daughter, thank you for take video for me. Okay, and first step onto the stage at the age of 6. Since I was a little child, my dream has always been to become a host. Whenever people ask me about my dream, my answer always is a host. Yes, I admire, you know who I admire? Yes, Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, and Ellen. When I was young, I dreamed to become a host like Oprah. Later, my dream came true, so I have my own show called Celebrity Interview. So if you have any idea, it can become a reality. So speak your dream loud, and the world will hear your voice. That's so many pictures, PPT. Maybe I have no time to control it, so I read my paper. Okay. To become a CCTV host we should, to become a CCTV host, a Mandarin profession test grade, A-level 1 certificate is essential. When I was young during a gathering, we talked about let's go and sign out loud that I would get this certificate. And the next year, I passed the examination smoothly. So my dream came true again. So speak your dream loud, and the world will hear your voice. Yes. After obtaining this Mandarin proficiency test grade A level 1 certificate and broadcaster and hold qualification certificate, I first hosted a music show named Fashion DJ Show at China National Radio. Later, I hosted the program Agriculture and Rural Areas on CCTV, Agriculture and Rural Channel. Yes, you know, China is a major agricultural country with a long history of farming. Chinese agriculture originated about 10,000 years ago in the early Neolithic age. CCTV has set up a special agriculture channel. So every year we hold beautiful village Boao International Summit in Boao, Hainan, China. Have you ever been Hainan province? Yes. I think next time we should meet there. In Boao, I serve as a news and interview host for this summit. I warmly invited all of you to join us in Boao, China. As a host, I feel truly blessed to report on these magnificent rivers and mountains of my motherland. I have also hosted forums, government events, and large-scale concerts with thousands of events so far. So, as a host, I often write manuscripts about 2,000 words. Watching many artists perform wonderfully on stage, I wondered if I could also write lyrics and compose music. Yes. So, through study and practice, I am now able to write, compose, and sing my own songs as an original music artist. My representative works include The World is Full of Love Because of You. These songs I will write it for my daughter and for all the children. Yes. The world is full of love because of you. And cherish your youth. And my dream came true again. So speak your dream loud and the world will hear your voice. Yes. And then I care deeply about children's education. After children are the future of our country, I'm willing to devote my love to children. I provide speech training for kids and build performance platforms to help them shine brightly on stage. I love children and hope to have more chances to serve them. Yes, I also want to tell children through my experience, that is, speak your dream aloud, then the world will hear your voice. And I have also acted in films. My leading microfilm, Mom, Please Love Me, won the Gold Award at the Miami American Film Festival. So I believe you have all understood my theme today, that is, speak your dream loud and the world will hear your voice. And this is introduce myself. Thank you for all of you. But the next, I will say something. Maybe I need a translator. So today I listed so many interesting fields just about AI, computer, real estate, and essential. And I will say another things about China. You know, China, I'm in charge of thousands of mountains, 10,000 villages economy project. Yes, you know, it's a farmer country and so many farmers there. And you know, a huge investment in China, I think you have to think about it. Internet user up to 1.2 billion. And online shoppers up to 970 million. So a huge investment market, I think so. And the express delivery volume up to 11.5%. And okay, 下面的东西我可以说中文一下哈。So the other things I think I should use the translator. Could you tell me? I can say something about it, but could you translate for me?
Yes.
Yes. So, yes. 这个我在中国呢负责千县万村工程和美丽乡村博鳌国际峰会。那我刚才呢欢迎大家来到海南的博鳌参加美丽乡村博鳌国际峰会呢。但是对，还有千县万村工程，我这里有一个可以跟大家讲，但是我希望有一个更精准的数字跟大家讲。有的 China have 2,845 village, you know, so many people, and we operate to buy things. So if the good things is so valuable, I think that so many person will buy it. So it will told us how to earn money. It's a huge market, right? So I also say, would you tell me to show this? Okay, that's I want to talk about. So welcome to China to travel and to investigate investment. I think you will have a good feeling there. So welcome to Beijing and find me. Okay, in the end, this is my 小红书 Little White Book account. Then you should scan it and we should connect with each other. So welcome to Beijing. Beijing, 欢迎你 and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Jin Hong Zhang, anchor for CCTV, and to bring us a beautiful message of nature, village modernization, and benefit for humanity. Thank you very much.
Yes, it's a good colleague, you see. When you're in the radio business, I love it. I've been in the radio and television business for over 40 years. It's the best thing in the world. I met everybody.
This is my liveliest thing. This is my best liveliest thing.
Yes, of course.
How to say?
Oh, this is the best thing I like.
This is the best thing I like.
Yes, of course. The microphone, gold microphones. Certificate of Honor, we are presented to Distinguished Excellent in Media and Cultural Communication Award. So Jin Gong Jiang from BIBS. We have another Certificate of Honor and a letter of appreciation from the World Speaker Series 2026 to Jin Gong Jiang, also from Boston International Business School. And of course, we will appoint her as a professor at the BIBS letter of appointment to Jin Gong Jiang. 谢谢，记得吗？Good, thank you very much. Yes, yes.
Okay, look here.
Yeah. Media is a good business. It's a very lucrative and very powerful. You meet a lot of people, you make a lot of money. I used to get paid $100 an hour as a lawyer, as a radio and TV announcer, $300 a minute. Remember that. Okay, thank you very much.
And I will thank my sister home. Yes, thank you for inviting me. And thanks my team leader, Master Qiao, the Chinese traditional medicine doctor. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, my doctor.
Next up is double whammy. We got a Big Mac because our next speaker is a vocalist professor as well as a national actress for China. She's going to teach us the value of entertainment and how to move forward with music and harmony. Let's welcome to the stage Yue Jun Lai. Thank you.
Hello， 大家晚上好，很开心，因为我不会讲英文，
She says she's enjoyable to see everybody here, and she wants to excuse her. Please excuse her for not speaking English.
我毕业于那个白俄罗斯国立音乐学院，我是学歌剧的。
She graduated from White Russia Ballet Academy.
不知道在座有没有喜欢唱歌剧的朋友
Is there anyone who likes opera and the Russian culture? Please raise your hand. Okay. I know there were several.
那一会儿我们一起唱一段好不好？哎，
Later you can sing together.
我就是不会说，但是我能唱。但是呢，没想到我们有这边在座的朋友能唱歌剧的。我觉得我们就是世界的语言呢，就是歌为主，就是可能是
The universal language of the world is actually music and songs.
是的啊，就音乐里面有歌剧，有民歌，有我们中国的民歌小调。那呢，我们的外国的歌剧呢，那是德语的、法语的、意大利语的，很多很多。
Opera can be Italian, German, Russian, lots of operas.
谢谢他很辛苦的翻译，但我呢，我是唱意大利语多一点，德语就唱有一个不知道你们有唱过那个伯爵请听那个德语的意大利语的一个歌剧选段。
She would like to sing for you a little bit from the Italian opera.
有没有笑之歌啊？还有一首漫步街上是意大利语的歌曲，因为英语的歌曲我不太会唱。
She likes more European songs.
唱是吧？
Okay, let's start now.
我给大家唱一首那个《Quando Memo》意大利的歌剧选段，可以吗？好。好。
Thank you very much. What a wonderful treat. Please stay on the stage. We need to give you recognition.
That's what you call opera and a great soprano, huh? All right, Maria Callas. Maria Callas, you know Maria Callas? Next time we'll sing together, all right? I do the Pavarotti version. Certificate of honor to Wei Yu Lai. Certificate of honor. We get another one? Yes, okay. And then we have a certificate. This is a letter of appreciation. This award is proudly presented to Yu Yan Lai. Okay, Yu Yan Lai. And then we appointed, of course, if she's a great soprano, we have to appoint her as a professor in music. So from the Boston University Business School, we are pleased to appoint Yu Yan Lai as a professor of the BIBS community. Thank you very much. You're a great soprano and you hit the high note. So it's a very good accomplishment.
Right, look here.
All right. Next time we'll sing together, right? We'll sing together.
Look here.
All right, so we're trying it out. Okay, we're trying it out together.
Oh, look here.
Eccoci stelle.
Look here.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. We're moving on with Andre. We have a lot of talented people here tonight.
Yes, now we save the best for the last. It's a question about longevity. How you can live longer. What is the secret of you? Let's welcome to the stage Dr. Mark Peng. He'll give us longevity and how you can help him.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you, Elvis, that Dr. Lee invited me here. What's my slides? 你们想听中文还是想听英文啊 ？English or Chinese? So I'm a venture capitalist. My focus on investment is on longevity, 长寿. So I'm asked to talk about non-drug, how to live longer without using drugs, because drugs have side effects, right? How do I do this thing? So first, I want to disclaimer: this is not a medical advice. If you have a problem, you can talk to a doctor. So when we talk about longevity, you've probably seen a lot of David Sinclair's talk. We're talking about just not just the lifespan, live to 120. We're talking about the healthy span, meaning you need to live healthy and longer. What you need to do is, if average, let's say, 78 in the United States, you want to live to 100 or 120. So you want it longer, and you're compressed. Usually people last 10 years will stay in the bed, which is very bad. So you want to compress it. So you will live longer and you live healthier. So this is the charts showing you the aging is your problem. When you get age, when you get more older, you have all kinds of diseases, mainly the 4 diseases. You have, on the average to 80s, you have cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, cardiovascular, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's diseases. So what you need to do is you do something, whatever drug or not drug, you move this curve to the right, so that you can be healthy. The market is huge, so David Sinclair had an article that says if you can live 1 year healthy longer in the United States, you can save $38 trillion. So the market is very, very, very big. There is about 12 markers, 5 markers. So people are working on the pathways. Why you're getting old? So they have 12 pathways. This is the top 10 pathways where you have problems with DNA damage, telomere, shortening, etc. So if you want to live longer, you need to work on some of these. So I will skip this one. So one thing the lady was saying that one thing for sure you can live longer without the drug is eating less. Actually, in the yeast, mouse, and the human, if you keep eating less, like Confucius says, 80% full, you can live extra 30 times. One of the most promising longevity drugs actually is GLP-1. Not people know it. GLP-1 probably is more than rapamycin, more than metformin. GLP-1 will be the first longevity drug, and people predict will be approved by US. But it's a drug. In Chinese saying, 是药三分毒, if it's a drug, you have side effect. So what we need to do is, when maybe there's a gap besides the drug, a surgery, maybe something that non-drug can help you live longer. So that's why we invested in 2 companies, which I'm going to talk about. So we worked on an endoscope-placed platform, a device that instead of inhibitor, you like GLP-1, you eat GLP-1, you have problem because you're crying over food, because you can't eat, inhibit your appetite, and also you have problem with menstrual cycle, you lose your muscle, the man lose lipido, right? These are all the side effects of GLP-1. So we use one, we actually can, what we do is skip this one, we don't lose muscle, we can use a physical strategy without losing muscle. Instead of like doing surgery, instead of you surgery, you cut the stomach, make a tube, bypass the stomach, so you absorb less food. We put a little soft glass tube here that separates your food with the digestive enzyme. In that sense, you can absorb it. It's about 60 centimeters long. You can absorb about 40% less of your food. So no muscle loose, and we have 2,800 cases. So it works as a head-to-head with in 3-month period. It's better than GLP-1. So and now we are seeking FDA approval. Currently, we are the model is we're basically using the obesity center and we're skipping up this surgery. So we're doing about treating about 350 patients a month, and a very high profit margin. We're in the middle of going public. We're raising the pre-IPO fund right now. If you're interested in, you can talk to Avis. We're also talking to the bigger tech companies, medtech companies, trying to do dual track that we're going to try to sell to big ones because they have the sales capability. So this is really good, very rare project. So if you're interested in doing that, this is the one guy. This is one of the patients. He was very fat, and after 3 months, he lose about 20% of weight. They look really healthy. And without drug, no drugs, just 3 months treatment. Put it in 15 minutes. We put it in the device, and wait 3 months, 15 minutes we take out. So it works very well. Okay, so that's the first one. The other one that you can do is that we all the DOIs, the dojo. How you do just as a behavioral, because 80% of your because you're getting fat is because you're eating too much. So you can eat, how do you eat less? The problem is because over the history of human, that food is not enough, scarcity. So when you have food, people eat a lot, even animal too. So in a whole week you don't have anything to eat, you still can survive. So you have a hunger gene in your body. So when you have food, you keep eating, so that you can't control yourself. But America eats so much because of the gene. So that what we do is training the behavior that will get you really all this technique, which are eating less. We have mind-body exercise, nutrition, movement, recovery, meditation purposes, and also endorse sexuality, etc. So my co-founder, we created a training course. My co-founder of this course lived to 111 years old, so he's the expert he's a professor in nutrition. He created this program, and he's the twin that points. He wrote about it. When he was 100 years old, he wrote a book. So we created a program out of this. It's a course for company founders and executives. We have clients from 30 years old to 95 years old. What we're trying to do is help you to live to 125 years old. Basically, we teach you what to do, and we repeat it as you do it, so you have muscle memory. You don't have to think about it. So you live, you talk, you walk in a way that you'll live a long time. So this is a private course. We do corporate training, but mostly we do one-on-one. The purpose of this program is trying to help you live longer, healthier, and increase your productivity as an author. Basically, it's a peak performance program. Some of the stuff you mentioned, proper eating, walking, how to breathing, also some of the ideas about harmony with nature and after action, etc. that helps you reduce your stress. So more people live shorter entrepreneur because of the stress. They die early at 40, 50 years old. So you live fundamentally, little by little, we're teaching you in like 3-6 months, and then you enjoy the process, and hopefully we will help you, live to 125 years old. So, thank you very much. If you're interested in the first program, which we're doing a race, this is the one, the training program. Here's my email, my number, you can get a hold of me. Thank you for your time. I hope I'm the last guy standing in you and the subway.
Thank you very much, Mark. Tech is the best for the last. And we want to commemorate you all the beautiful job done. And
Thank you, sir, doctor. We thank you very much. Now we know how to make our life longer by eating good food, by sleeping, by relaxing, no stress. Certificate of Honor, World Speaker Series, a letter of appreciation to Mr. Mark Tang. Thank you very much, sir. Here's one. We have a letter of appointment now. We're going to appoint you at Boston University International Business School. I have the pleasure to appoint you, Mark Tang, as a professor.
Thank you.
BIBS.
This is my second professor.
Second.
I love this business.
Good. You will be pretty soon at my alma mater, Columbia.
Oh, I'm at Columbia too.
Good. Certificate of Honor, the World Speaker Series, Distinguished Leadership in the Global Biotech Award to Professor Mark Tang. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your contribution, for your information. And now hold the speaker.
Golden speaker. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you. We have an important announcement to make. It just came in from Dubai. Let me tell you about the next World Series appointment. It's going to be March 18. Tell your friends either here or at the United Nations. It's to be announced. And also, we're establishing a new institution of the Boston International Business focuses on art and business management. So that will be our next institution. Elvis, I'm sure, already knows. And so we will look for you on the next meeting, which will be March 18th. Save the date. We want to thank you very much for your cooperation. We want to thank the speakers, the audience, and everybody that come in. And most of all, let's thank our co-organizer with Professor Gloria, Elvis Newman. Thank you, Elvis. You did a fantastic job. And happy that Dr. Lee and I coordinate with him tonight. Thank you very much. Good night. God bless you. Happy New Year of the horse. So my horses are waiting. I gotta go home my horse now.
thank you, Joseph, for co-hosting. All the speakers, we have complimentary dinner for you. Please head to the back, to the right side. It's with complimentary refreshments and dinners for you, for all our speakers. Please head to the back of the room where you have all the complimentary dinners. Thank you all for your contribution. Thank you. Thank you everyone for attending. See you March 18.
来，你们让开还是你让？你们让开。是吧？
我帮你们叫，我帮你们叫。你要宣传上吗？我帮你们。
等一下，
And I felt like being born the year the Berlin Wall fell was very symbolic of my mission on this planet as well as unification. I had the privilege of also going to 15 festivals, watching my mom come and leaves everything, travel all around the world to see different religions, races, social economic classes, and structures. It's fire in my heart. It's love, it's experience. I'm excited to share. I'm excited to because when you've been both rich and poor, and you've been an insider insider and outsider. And we've had all of these different experiences. What I've come to realize is that the meaning of life, the purpose of life, is how good you can how much you can receive, how much you can experience, how much you can enjoy. And no money in the world can pay for that. Of course, we can get the best amount of support, we can get the right people around us, but oftentimes we have a lot of money. Who are the right people? Who are actually the ones that are there for you because they care? And so, again, we come back to the origin. There are two polarizing frequencies that are dominating everything that are at the core infrastructure of everything that we built, and that's fear, and that's love. And then above fear, there's all these other emotions that come with it, right? Jealousy, pain, embarrassment, shame, all of these other kind of things are built on top of fear. And on top of love, you have joy, bliss, fulfillment, connection, right? And so that's how we can categorize all of these different things that happen. I work for some of the biggest companies in the world, like Apple, Oracle, NASDAQ, Universal Studios, BBC. So I've seen into the boardrooms of so many different places. At Apple, I was doing, me and my team, it was just me and another team member, we were doing $1 billion annually in sales, being one of the biggest, most successful businesses at Apple. And I also have been, doing this, what we're doing now. I've been creating videos and storytelling for over 20 years. One of the original influencers. And what I've learned all of this time is the key that unlocks all doors is love. Love is the answer. And we like to get distracted, and we like to focus on other things, and it seems like a fairy tale or too good to be true, but love is the thing that actually allows us to be breathing right now, to be here in a physical embodiment, because if there wasn't some kind of love between your mother and father, they would have never had you. We all have different stories, and some more painful than the others, but there was always love. And there will always be love, and love is the key that unlocks all doors. So with having a 20-year, business background and working in some of the biggest companies in the world and personally interfacing with thousands of people, one of the first creations that is the foundation of Loveverse, which is the vision that I steward. The foundation was called Humans I Trust, and it was a community of over 10,000 social impact entrepreneurs from all over the world, investors, artists, philanthropists. We would gather in places like the World Economic Forum and Art Basel and South by Southwest, and we would master hearts and share each other's stories vulnerably and see how we can come together in collaboration and co-creation, because that's what's needed right now. Our unification is needed. So the Loveverse is the infinite world of love, in which all of the leaders of love can come to play and to bring their organizations and to create our own conscious commerce marketplace. And within the Loveverse, there's Love Earth, and that's where we are right now. That's the tangible ground of this beautiful planet. And Love Earth is where the leaders of love come together, and within Love Earth we have our own currency as well, which is Love Form. And so we created a sovereign currency. It's not a cryptocurrency. It's not in the fiat. It's a hybrid. It's a hybrid system with actually real world-backed assets like land, and now soon to be gold. The next phase that we're going into is launching a gold system on top of that, which is physical gold. I'm very excited for and love it. I'm actually on my way to fly to Costa Rica on Friday. There's 2,000-acre property as a nature reserve. It's amazing that nature has been preserving for 36 years and protecting at many times the rest of its own life. A lot of criticism from people who don't understand how can you be protecting this land? You could have gotten millions and millions and millions of dollars for it, but he understands that there are so many things that are so valuable, right? It's a metric, and it's important. It's important that we have that metric because it allows for energy exchange to happen, and energy is a form of money. But what is that energy going to be built on? Is it built on love? Or is it built on extraction? Is it built on gain? Is it built on, I'm going to get this, but you're going to lose? So what I believe that we have the chance here to do is years of love unify and come together and say, we're here. It is time. We are ready. We have trained, we have prepared for this moment. And we're all bringing our wisdom and our resources and our joy and our inspiration together to create better. And there's many people that are building different systems. And what I really thrive for is interoperability. How can we exchange? And it's not that everyone has to stop their projects and all go to one project, but if we're all connected through the frequency of love, then we know that whatever business we do, whatever we create, it comes from love first, then I believe we have a real chance at winning. There's so much I could tell you about the Loveverse and Love Earth and Lovecoin and Lovelink and the entire love ecosystem. I had the honor and privilege of being flown out to Necker Island last year to meet Richard Branson and a whole team of leaders to share this vision to them. So there's a longer video on YouTube. You look for Virginia Salas Castillo presenting the Loveverse to Necker Island. You can find that and find more intricacies as well of what I'm speaking to. But what I really care about is not being followed on Instagram, not getting more subscribers. I'm looking for allies. I'm looking for people that are ready to pick up the phone and wire payments and get on planes and bring people and are here all in to create this change that we know is possible. So if you resonate with this, if this is also what you're holding, then I would love for you to reach out to me. Let's get on the call and let's see how we can create things together that'll make the world a better place. That's who we truly are. That is a human being. We are here to be, and so let's stop doing and overworking ourselves and getting distracted by all these shiny objects and the next opportunity, the next event, and the next thing. It's never enough. We just need to slow down and realize that it's already here. We've already won. We have enough money, we have enough assets, we have enough wisdom, we have AI on our side right now. And when we come together in humility and gratitude and presence and joy, then we're going to make it. Big hug from my heart to yours. Let's build a better world that we all create.
Good evening. I am Jinzhao Cesaroni, founder and CEO of Global CSR Foundation. CSR represents corporate social responsibility. And I would like to say Happy Chinese New Year from Chicago. It's a great pleasure and honor to join all of you here. And I know this year, everybody probably already know, it's the year of the Fire Horse. And we wish you all the best in the Fire Horse year. Today, my speech will be about AI governance, global power shift, and women leadership. I also have the honor to serve as the chair of Global Women Leadership Summit by UN World Women Organization, which will be held this year in March during the CSW Family in New York Union Headquarters. Today, I would like to cover the topic about AI governance, global power shifts, and women leadership. This is based on my many years of business and academic experience, but most importantly, based on last month in January, I traveled globally for 5 weeks, and a lot of new trends observation and a lot of new thinking. And especially during today's AI is transforming everything and it's accelerating everything. So it's a very critical topic I want to share with you all. So this year in January, I first traveled to CSW, where I had the honor to meet with Gloria, and then we traveled together to Stanford University. And I also have the pleasure and honor to be appointed as a guest professor for Boston International Business School. And I started our collaboration from Stanford University. That's a very unforgettable, memorable experience, great experience to have the conference meeting so many incredible people, experts, and professors, and also to build a great friendship with Gloria. And thank you for inviting me to speak today. Later, we did have the opportunity to travel together to Davos, attending numerous events, and also to Dubai later. So I want to see, today I want to share a few key points and observations. The number one is I observed is AI is rewriting the global power map. I'm sure all of you in all meetings globally all recognizing this. So first of all, at the CES, innovation was breathtaking. But in CES, we did have a conference called Innovation and Monetization Summit, and it was very successful. At the whole CES show, we can see all the autonomous systems, generative AI integration, defense applications, financial automations, and we see a lot of the innovations in the lifestyle, in healthcare, and also in the automobile industry. So many new products launched and so many new technology being discussed. But when we travel to Davos, the conversation shifted. The real question became, who sets AI standards? Who controls compute infrastructure? And who can capture the economic upside? And also who will absorb labor displacement risk? So AI is not just a technology cycle, it's become a power cycle. And the power cycle reshape the entire geopolitical balance. And at the Davos, I sat at the entire day at the USA House for the AI Summit. And there are from major corporations like Microsoft, and also from policymakers, and from global universities like the AI University from Abu Dhabi. Everyone is discussing about the next step. And also I had the honor to meet with the group funded American Society of AI, which actually is based in New York. And they invited a lot of global experts to participate. They're writing the AI constitution, because major concern everybody has in their mind is what's next. It's not about credibility anymore. It's about the stability for the next step. So that's a major trend, is the AI governance concerns and discernment in every category of, every industry. In every area, people are really asking that major question. And number two is, there's no one single country or company or group dominates this conversation. It's a very multipolar. AI governance is emerging already. And not just in Davos. After Davos, we went to Dubai, and you can see my foundation, Global CSR Foundation, did have MOU signed with the Dubai Rumors Family Office. We were in Dubai in 2023 to host the three major conference at the COP28. That's when I and my foundation started a lot of work in UAE. And this time, the UAE sovereign fund, family offices, very aggressively, looking into AI infrastructure opportunities, new technology opportunities, and also at the same time, corporate social responsibility. Our collaboration is more focusing on building corporate social responsibility programs and the sustainability goals, working with the Gulf region companies and businesses and family offices. So, globally, you can see the trends as everybody is participating. Like in Europe, we can see the regulatory frameworks are tightening, and we can see, the AI whole ecosystem is becoming multipolar. And in this multipolar ecosystems, the risk of fragmentation will increase. So without coordinated governance frameworks, AI developing so fast, can become economically not stable, politically polarizing, and you can see the socially become unequal because AI can accelerate and also multiply the risks that was not set right at the beginning design stage. So the next decade will not be defined by who builds the fastest model. It will be defined by who builds the most trusted system. So that's from CES to Davos, and in the middle, I actually also went to Beijing for a few days to launch Cultural and Museum Special Fund, working with China's Ministry of Culture and Tourism. That's the one to promote cultural exchange. But you can see in China also, AI is it's very advanced, and also the government policy is building disciplines and governance into the AI projects, including in the museum culture industry. So that's what I shared about the 2 points. Number one is AI governance is become a major concern and trend. Number two is every country, company, group is trying to be part of this AI governance and architectural design part of it. And the US does take a very good lead with all the major companies. And also, I mentioned about the civic society, the American Society of AI based in New York. If we're interested in this topic, we probably can invite them for our next speaker series. So number three I want to talk about is where do women leadership stands? Where do women leadership stands in today's AI governance? And as we all know, that women are very underrepresented. So where do women stand in the AI decision making? It's really a structural challenge because women still remain very significantly underrepresented in AI research leadership, in venture funding allocation, less than 3%, in digital policy architecture design, in technology board governance. So if all AI systems are trained without the diverse oversight, there will be bias. So if capital flows without gender lenses display, then inequality will complicate, not just continue, it will complicate. So AI amplifies whatever values are embedded in it. So the question becomes, who is embedding the values right now? It's a question I'm sure a lot of us are asking right now. So another, I want to share a little bit of personal story is at Davos, I did run into a long-term friend, Dr. Farzan, who was advising China for 20 years for the economic reform. He later moved to Dubai, advising the royal family. When I met him in Davos. He said he moved to Africa, Botswana. I know he talked about the rights of Africa to us a couple years ago already, but now he moved to Botswana for over a year and directly advising the national leaders and the president's office. So he invited me to go to Botswana to see myself what's happening there. So I did make our foundation has been doing a lot of African projects like Light Up Africa in Nigeria. It used leadership in 5 African countries, but I never visited there. So I took the opportunity to visit Dr. Farzad in Botswana, and I was incredibly impressed about the country's design of their current economic reform, their financial system, to embed the value. We are talking about the value system who is embedding. For those countries, they can embed the women's leadership, childhood education, youth leadership development, all into a project. Just a quick example is, for example, if we can help one of our CSR partner corporation to get one exclusive license, the government can issue one exclusive license to this big company. There will be, with the smart contract, have a small percentage directly designated to the CSI executive initiative, which will contribute to women leadership development, youth leadership development, childhood education, and the AI literacy training. So it's going to be just designed from the very beginning into their system so they can have an impact very quickly and for long term. So by giving this example, I want to say for smaller countries like this, we can really start from the system design stage to build a more trusted, more durable, more socially responsible system for them. So why women's leadership is also a governance advantage for AI. So I want to just quickly cover a few points on this. Is research consistently shows women leaders demonstrate higher long-term risk sensitivity, and also they create stakeholder integration, greater stakeholder integration, stronger institutional trust outcomes. So in AI governance, those traits are very critical. They're not operational. They are necessity. So we are moving from industrial leadership model to systems leadership model. AI is not just a software, it's infrastructure. It affects labor markets and the financial systems, defense systems, and education models and healthcare access. So when infrastructure shifts, governance must be prepared to be ready and to be mature. And a governance requires balance. So this, among all this governance, women's leadership plays a very important role. That's also one of the major reasons I wrote the book Women's Civilizational Leadership, which I wrote last December, a couple months ago, because I feel the strong urgency of the times we are facing, the challenges we are facing really require women step into more leadership roles to stabilize, to neutral this whole system we are building. So women's celestial leadership argues that we are entering a new leadership paradigm, from transactional leadership to generational system design. So AI governance is the first real test of whether we can involve leadership fast enough to match technology. So I would like to share with you more about the book, and on March 18th, during the current status of women UN Women 70s conference at the United Nations, we will host the Global Women's Leadership Summit. And the focus is very clear: women in AI, women in capital allocation, and women in future economy governance. And in partnership with UNESCO, we are also launching the World Women Innovation Initiative. this is going to be a global architecture to support women from early stage women entrepreneurs and innovators to accelerating skill-ready ventures. So combined with leadership cohorts and working directly with governments and also working together with Boston International Business School, we want to build a platform that will support women to step more into leadership position in this age of AI. So if AI is reshaping the global system, women must help shape AI, not just react to it, and not just has to be shaping it. So in closing, I want to say the 5-horse year brings speed, but speed without governance will not be stable. So AI without inclusive leadership will create a system instability. So the next decade will not reward the most aggressive builders, but gonna reward the most responsible architect. So from Davos to Dubai, from Botswana to Jakarta, one conclusion is clear. The future of AI governance will determine the future of our global stability, and women's leadership must be central to that design, not as a social add-on, but as a structural necessity. So I would like to thank you all for spending the time listening to my speech, and wish you have a happy Chinese New Year. Have a great 5 year ahead. Thank you.
Hello. My name is Virginia Salas Castillo. I am here in beautiful Germany. This is the land where I was born. I'm currently north of Munich, but I was born in Berlin, Germany, the year the wall fell. My father is from Berlin and my mother is from Kiev. So I was born with East and West in my blood. And I felt like being born the year the Berlin Wall fell was very symbolic of my mission.
Oh, nice.